Maybe you can have
What website?
Good evening. I would like to call to order the Keizer City Council in regular session. It is Monday, June 1st, 2026, and ask our city recorder to please call roll.
Councilor Parsons?
Here.
Councilor Kohler?
Here.
Mayor Clark.
Here.
Council President Starr.
Here.
Councilor Christopher.
Here.
Councilor Dran.
Here.
Councilor Cross.
So Counselor Cross is excused. Is she on the Zoom?
She is.
She is. Okay. Thank you very much. All right, with that, if you are able, I ask you to rise and all join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Before we go to special orders of business, Councilor Cross reached out very late this afternoon and asked to be able to Zoom in and be considered present. We can't see her on the screen here. Is this screen going to be activated?
She does not have her camera turned. Oh, there, she's just turned on her camera.
She does have a camera on?
There she is.
Okay. So we'll need that. Okay. But she's asked to be able to Zoom in. And that would take a motion of council.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Keizer City Council consider Councilor Cross present and allowed to participate via Zoom. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, signify by saying no. Motion passes 6-0. Councilor Cross's status is now in attendance. Okay. I don't know.
Her camera is off right now.
Her camera's what?
Her camera is off right now.
It's off? Okay. Is it working?
Hello.
Okay. 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 All right, thank you very much. We will now go to special orders of business. This is a proclamation for Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, Transgender, and Queer Pride Month. With us tonight is Raylan McCormick, a junior at McNary High School, involved, whoops, I just switched screens. Sorry, I just lost my, there we go, my script, there it is. Involved in McNary's theater and media production programs. They serve as director for media productions and have been part of recent musicals and have plans for serving next year as stage manager. Raylin is the president of SAVE, Student Advisory Voicing Equity, a committee of students who work collectively to represent a wide demographic of diverse students at McNary High School who may not always feel heard, as well as organize community service events like the Cummings Lane adoption and recent roadside cleanup. Raylin is very interested in continuing to build a positive connection between the high school and the community of Keizer as a senior next year. After high school, they want to go to college for a bachelor's degree in criminology before continuing on to law school. Please welcome Raylin McCormick. Come on up. If you pull the microphone to you. There we go. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Raylan McCormick. I use them pronouns, and I'd like to thank everyone tonight for allowing me to speak. And with that, my experience as a queer person has been mixed. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to express myself, but many others don't have that opportunity. Many are shoved in boxes, such as gendered boxes, religious boxes, and economic boxes, and some don't fit those boxes. The American Civil Liberties Union says 90% of queer people experience homophobia, and this is not without its consequences. The suicide rate for queer people is 37% as opposed to the normal 14% for other individuals. And many homophobic people say that their excuse is that it's unnatural, but this is simply untrue. Homosexuality is found among over 1,500 other species, among which humans are the only ones who experience homophobia. And this is dating back thousands of years, even to ancient Greece and before. I went around and I interviewed some of my peers in how homophobia has affected them, and multiple people said that they've experienced homophobia first and secondhand. They've experienced casual slurs, transphobia, and overall a feeling of being overwhelmed and lonely. Many people can't even feel safe in their own homes because they risk of being kicked out just because of they want to be who they are. They live in fear of even being killed because this has happened before, just for telling the wrong person what they are. And though we are privileged to the fact that we can be ourselves in most states, others are not so thankful, such as the fact that trans individuals in other states are having their license revoked just because they present as they are. This is not without solutions. You can be an ally. You can ask someone their pronouns. You don't have to assume. You can put up anti-discriminatory policies in schools or businesses so there is protection even from the highest levels. You can put up something as simple as stickers or posters showing everyone that they're welcome at any place. If you see homophobia, you don't have to be a bystander and can go and help someone. And you can remember that queer people exist outside of the month of June. And finally, you can be kind to everyone regardless of their background. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well said. Right there. So at this point, I'm going to read the proclamation and then invite Ray Lynn and friends and people who are here to support her up to receive a copy of the proclamation. The proclamation reads as follows. Whereas our nation was founded on the principles of equal rights for all people and continues to strive for this ideal, and whereas the historical riot at Stonewall in New York City on June 28, 1969, is considered a turning point for the LGBTQ liberation in the United States, and whereas for more than 50 years, June has been celebrated nationwide as Pride Month in honor of the citizens who rose up and fought at Stonewall against discriminatory laws, and whereas everyone should be able to live without fear of prejudice, discrimination, violence, or aggression, including actions based on race, ethnicity, religion, class, gender identity, sexual orientation, age, mental or physical disability. And whereas June has become nationally recognized month in which to celebrate and honor contributions and achievements of community members who identify as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transsexual, queer, inquiring, asexual, two-spirit, plus, and whereas the City of Keizer affirms that all people have the right to live in peace, strives to treat all people with dignity and respect, and recognizing our diverse LGBTQIA2+ community contributes significantly to our economy, arts, culture, and society. Now, therefore, the Keizer City Council assembled here in regular session does hereby proclaim June 2026 as Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, Transgender, and Queer Pride Month. Thank you.
Dan, you have to do it. You got fired.
I didn't fire you.
Then fired. Do it.
I didn't fire you.
What can I say? Remember, Shane's wearing heels today. Good job. Shorter than her.
I learned my lesson. I was like, oh, it's Monday.
See?
We're gonna have a picture. And you didn't.
It's gonna be real hot.
Thank you so much. Well said.
They're saying that Shane's horny. She's wearing freaking 6-inch heels. Well, she's gotta do something.
BB3.
Now, this picture will show who's more dominant.
All right.
Okay, so that concludes special orders of business this evening. We will now go to committee reports. We have David Dempster reporting for multimodal safety.
From the Multimodal Safety Committee, I was just thinking back when I first started, it was called Bikeways, but that was in 2006, when I started on the committee. So, okay, we meet once a month. Basically, this last session, we had started out to find out which streets, intersections in Keizer were the most dangerous so that we could make some recommendations to the city council, either what it was or what could be done. And it turned out that there wasn't one section. Obviously, River Road has the most accidents, but we found out that weren't any single intersection that was causing the problem. And we worked with the police department on this and all the records the last umpteen years. It's the driveways. More accidents between pedestrians and cars and cars and bicycles occur in the driveways where sometimes it's the bicyclist's fault, sometimes it's the car's fault. But incidents, that's where they're occurring, and it's very difficult since we can't go back and eliminate 50% of the driveways on River Road, even if that would solve most of the problems. But that's just where we are. So it's important for the planning department to know that we really can't afford to add any more intersections. We're pretty heavily intersected already, but that's where the accidents are occurring. The only other one that showed up, which was recommendations of the school, the neighborhood associations, and multiple people, were the intersection of Windsor Island Road and Lock Haven. And primarily because the school is right near that intersection, there's a lot of foot traffic. So we discussed that. And then we discussed the work session we're going to have with the city council in, I guess it's been moved a couple weeks ahead. And so there's several items we want to make sure that came up there. We had two motions. I can't remember exactly what the issues were that came up, but Mr. Sangster made a motion to refer to the city council. I have to read this because to request funding from Keizer Rotary for our helmet program. Now, I'm assuming everybody knows what the helmet program is. Is there any questions about that? So we've tried to figure out how many helmets we've given away in Keizer, and it's in the thousands since I've been a member. So, and this year, we estimated last year we gave away around 400 helmets. And that doesn't cost the city anything. The city does not, outside of the wonderful business department, the city manager taking care of where we hide the money. Other than that, that's, well, not hidden, but sometimes we have new people and they can't find it, so that's.
It's still there?
It's always been there, yeah, Tim's always been able to find it. All right, so we have a recommendation that we need your approval to request funding from Keizer Rotary for some money.
Okay.
The second motion was exactly the same thing, asking your permission to, or recommendation, or how you phrase it, recommendation from the Salem Bike Club. We worked with the Salem Bike Club, for example, in the Monster Cookie Ride, which was beginning of last month. And so we work with them on several events. During that event, we held a training session for small kids and a bike ride for little kids, neighborhood bike ride. And we have, coming up, we'll be at Weddell this Thursday from 5 till 7 with bike training and information and helmets. So we expect to give away about 30 helmets on that day. And we have, the Public Works has opened something going on.
Public Works Day,
The Public Works Day, is that this month or next month?
June 17th.
June 17th. So we'll be there then also.
Okay.
And that was pretty much it. The only thing I was thinking about, this is the first time, the last meeting was the first time we didn't have complaints about speeding and reckless driving in over a year.
Shouldn't have said anything.
No, but it's interesting in that's, I think it's just a blip that didn't happen. And we'll have it because speeding is a major issue in Keizer for a lot of the citizenry.
almost got run over this morning, so it's happening.
Well, and, thank you. And, Mr. Brown, will those, referrals from the Multimodal Safety Committee be coming to council at our next meeting for the 2 grant?
They will, Madam Mayor and Council.
Okay, thank you very much. And then, on the complaints, I've gotten some emails, I'm gonna need to forward them, and some calls around, speed issues on Main Avenue. They've asked me to call back, I've been unable to find some time to call back to the residents there, but I can forward that to our traffic safety lieutenant, I can get those to you, to follow up on those as well, so, when school's out, I know there's a lot of concern that some students will feel unencumbered by school time and be out joyriding, which is fine, as long as they keep the pedal off the metal.
The only comment I'd make is the USA Today had a nice article on the front page. The incidence of cars impacting bicyclists is way up for the last every year. It's been increasing. And a lot of that they said, yes, bicyclists make mistakes, but the majority of it apparently is the aggressiveness of car drivers who don't want to share the road with bicycles. And as a bicyclist, that's what I would say is more of a problem than
Yeah,
the kids running out. I mean, their kids are doing what kids do, they always have.
well, that and, that's also true of, motorcyclists, that there are drivers that choose not to share the road with motorcyclists and cause crashes. So, when I was riding, that was a very scary issue as well. So, point well taken. So a lot of our enforcement, with our Keizer Police is gonna be really critical, especially on these early weeks when school gets out. So, Council President Starr, you had a question?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. On the grants for the bike helmets, we're not up against a timeline on that. Because if it doesn't come until, 2 weeks from now on June
15.
15th, I thought it was gonna be on the agenda this week.
This kind of caught some of us by surprise because in the last 20 years, we've not gone through city council except for when we did ODOT grants.
Right, but I don't know that we've ever gotten a grant or had the opportunity to apply through Rotary, so.
Yeah, we have.
Okay.
We've had the opportunity, we didn't get it. Okay.
Right, okay. So, but my question is I was expecting it to be on the agenda tonight. Are you up against a timeline?
I don't know. I probably not.
Okay, so you're fine for it to be on the June 15th agenda?
Yeah.
Okay, great, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions for Mr. Dempster? All right, seeing none, thank you very much. Deborah Sisko, Keizer, Public Arts Commission.
Good evening. I'm a little nervous. It's been a while since I've been here, and I have quite a few things to talk about, so bear with me as I go through this. My name is Deborah Sisko, and I'm the new chair at KPAC. One thing, we've been really busy doing a lot of different things, and one of the things that we've been very successful at is finally getting our master plan together. So we're excited about adding that to that. So, and we've had several new things come up, that are really exciting to see how art is blooming in Keizer. The street art program is going to be run by the McNary art students. The challenge is at this time of year with our budget ending the 30th of June, we're not sure that it's going to be able to be done by then. So we are asking a little bit of grace time, maybe to September, to use that money for them, and hopefully they will get it done soon. Within September is what we're kind of thinking, hoping for. And that would just, use our budget that we already have and extend it to September if that meets with your guys' approval. Another thing we have going is the storm drain art project. This is, the environmental district has brought it over to us, and we've actually awarded one of the drains to an artist. We're very excited about that. Stacy is the one that's going to make the final decision as to where it's located. It's either going to be on Shamawa or it's going to be at Alter School. She's in the process of deciding that with her committee right now. So we have two possibilities of drains. We've got the one, but the other one is not assigned yet because we haven't had anybody try to get that award. So what we'd like to do is maybe extend that budget for them to September if that's possible. Just remembering that this is all new art that we're just getting started with, and we're trying to get the word out. So that's kind of what's happening with that. The Los Dos welcome poster, the original artist on that had some complications with a family member and is not going to be able to do it, but we've already engaged another person, and hopefully they will be finished with the project by the end of June. So yay. Yeah, we're real excited about getting that going too. Our indoor gallery over here, we had some health issues with a family member that wasn't be able to show their art. So we're going to do the historic iris posters. And I think that would be really good to have that because we don't want empty walls. So, and Ken Stern, she's one of the KPAC members. She's going around and talking or doing an inventory on all the signs of all the statues and stuff to make sure they're in good shape. And we will get a report on that. We have another KPAC meeting tomorrow night, and we're going to be doing a lot more work on that too. And one thing that we do, we're asking people to come up with different places where they would like to see either murals or statues or something within River Road area too. So we're in the process of collecting those possibilities too. The exciting thing that just came in this week, utility boxes, we have 3 that haven't been assigned yet, but we have received 4 possibilities of that, and we'll be voting on that tomorrow night on that. So, and with that, if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
All right, thank you. Questions for Ms. Cisco? Counselor Christopher?
Thank you. I don't have questions. I'm just going to expand on a couple of the things that you said. The storm, we had to finish the master plan, and it just got adopted last month. So we couldn't move forward with the storm art or the street art because they weren't in the master plan until the council adopted them. So that's what's pushed us a little late. The students are only managing the one project.
Right.
We'll have I hope we will have other street art opportunities, and KPAC will assist with that. The students could get it done in June. We don't think so, but that's why we'll need that extended a little bit. Brand new program, we're kind of learning as we're going with supplies and we're working with student artists, but we want to work with student artists. We're excited about that. The additional thing that is, we've contacted Lukanich to make sure that all of our wooden art is preserved, and that will all happen in June. The mural on Los Dos Hermanos, if KPAC approves the art tomorrow night, then the artist can get started and that will happen. So most of the plan for this year will be accomplished. It's really storm art and street art that probably are not going to make it. And would need, I think realistically, September 1st is, I think we'll get it done before then. I think they'll need potentially July and maybe a little bit of August. So I think that we'll get them all done before then, but we could get lucky. But great job, Deb.
Oh,
I mean,
you.
you had a lot of detail, and we're slamming busy because of unforeseen circumstances, because it turns out we're dealing with humans. And an artist got ill and was unable to display in our indoor gallery. Another artist had a family illness and was unable to move forward with the mural. This is how life happens. And I think that KPAC has done an excellent job of regrouping and figuring it out. Thank you so much.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions for Ms. Cisco? Do you want to comment very briefly on the Riverwalk Art Fair? I know that's the Keizer Arts Association, a separate organization.
there.
You were there.
Yes.
But from your perspective and what you heard from artists and participants, how did our partner organization, Keizer Arts Association, do with this project this year?
Well, thank you for the question. I was a vendor, and is involved in the committee too. We had a lot more traffic. We had a lot more, people, searching us out because we were in a different location than we were last year. It was a little confusing where we were last year down by the river, but you could see us a lot better. I think the cooperation has been good, and we are excited we had the largest number of participation than we've ever had with volunteers and with everybody helping out. So we just had our meeting the other night, and it was good. We were moving forward. There were some things that were sold, and that's always good, so, it's always good.
A lot of us helped
Yeah.
on that score.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, yeah.
Hanging at my house.
Literally out of balls.
So, well, thank you for that update and the collaboration between the city supporting the Arts Association event of the Riverwalk Art Fair. It is separate and apart, but our art community is united.
Yes.
And we tried very hard to make sure that we are really celebrating the art in our
Yes.
region.
And I appreciate that a lot, personally, yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thanks, Deb.
Are there any other committees to report tonight? Now, neighborhood associations, if you want to talk about the neighborhood association of itself, if you're here for budget, stand by for that budget hearing. So neighborhood association, not budget. Okay? And, okay, so that takes care of that. And we know our youth counselor is off to summer vacation and great things. So with that, we will now go to public comment. This time is provided for citizens to address the council on any matters other than those on the agenda scheduled for public hearing. We have public hearings tonight, multiple, and they're all related to the budget. So we have the ordinance related to water rates, the resolution amending the stormwater utility fee, resolution amending the multifamily City of Keizer Park Services fee, the resolution declaring the city's election to receive state revenues, resolution certifying the City of Keizer provides 4 or more municipal services, and the adoption of the budget. If you're here for that, stand by. We'll hear from you under that, the public comment under that hearing. So with that, I would like to acknowledge for the record, again, we have public comment, and we have, I'll just read them in. So from Tammy Counts, residents of Keizer, Greater Northeast Keizer Neighborhood Association President, Greater Northeast Keizer Neighborhood Association Community ROI and Association Leverage Report, and Greater Northeast Keizer Neighborhood Association Annual Watch Annual Impact Report. So this is for item 8E, so my bad. All of these are 8E, so I'm going to press pause on that because these are all for the budget public hearing. I'm going to offer courtesy right now to one of our fellow electeds, that's Chrissy Hudson, who is here from the Salem Keizer School Board. I would like to invite you up to address the council this evening. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hello.
Hello.
Thanks for letting me come speak. I'll be pretty quick because I really appreciate you giving me time. I just wanted to share with our community a follow-up of a meeting that we were invited here to in the past. I was very excited about that. to address public safety and the issues that we have in our community, Salem Keizer as a whole. We at Salem Keizer School District have had an uptick, continue to, which seems like it's kind of a secret, but we as families and households and parents all know that's not true. And so we have a very rare small window of opportunity to re-engage that discussion and possibly bring a resolution to the school board that will hopefully move things forward. And it's really been pretty awesome because a family member, a parent, had created a petition that's been passed around just a short time, and it's already collected several hundred signatures of our stance as public families and parents that know that we need a change in our safety in our community. But the neater thing is that in my few years on the board, that's been a hot topic, #1 across the board. And we all know there's been so much garbage, I feel like. Everything's divided and we can't acknowledge that it's an issue, and that no matter what human you are, we know and see and realize that our kids are suffering. So we've had Marion County DA's office, Salem PD, and Keizer PD too, re-engage in this conversation, which has been really neat because I feel like that was further than we thought we'd advance. We really need public input. This is the time, this is the time, this is the time. It is such a small window. And without this public input and your voice totally welcomed for the first time in years, truly and transparently stating that there is a need and that you have an interest in us moving forward with a resolution to try to hold the district accountable to help them with the tools that they need to keep our kids safe. So we're hoping to, again, create a resolution that will give an outline idea of our expectations as a district, and that we require that they follow up with updates of those and continue to move us forward. I always say too much, but I'll try not to, but it's actually, this year, we've seen yet again continued uptick. So I know in the district, most of us know that we have the metal detectors in high school and middle school, and a lot of us would like to see more, but this is a step in the right direction. And again, it's a very small window, so anyone and everyone that wants to sign the petition, June 9th, show up to the board meeting, 6 p.m., submit public testimony of what you think. We've had so many stories shared from all walks of life of the horrific experiences that families and our children have suffered. And it makes me ill that it's taken this long to have this conversation. But I'm sorry to bring a downer topic possibly, but I hope it's a positive and gives people hope again, and a light and invite for a voice. A lot of people have asked, is it safe to show up to your board meeting again and talk about this? Because there was a time where it wasn't, even for the adults. And if we adults can't push back to our bullies that are suppressing our voice, then how do we expect our kids to? So anyway, I just invite you as a parent and a mama, and I feel like a mom to all the children because I genuinely care about them. I hope that you might consider signing something as Keizer City Council to help us. That's the main thing that speaks to our district without speaking. I don't want to call anybody out. We're trying to do our piece to help, and we're all volunteers here. And so we have a moment in time opportunity, and I just welcome you and thank you. And if you have any questions, I'm here.
Right. Thank you very much. And before I go to questions, I want to let people know, if they don't know already, that Keizer is in contract with the Salem Keizer School District to provide 2.5 staff members as school safety officers, SSOs. There's been a lot of talk about SROs, school resource officers, but we have a school safety officer program. Lieutenant, would you feel comfortable just saying a couple of things about that relative to school safety? And this is the topic here is concerns within the schools, but also in our neighborhoods, the impact of school violence and so forth.
Absolutely, Madam Mayor. Thank you, city councilors, city staff. Yes, I can speak in regards to we call them school detectives. That's not their official title, but we have Detective Worledge and Detective Anderson that closely work with the Salem Keizer Public School District. Been huge for helping out not only the Salem Police Department and the Keizer Police Department, but other agencies, I'm sure, as well. Just the amount of information, they attend regular meetings, any issues at the school involving students, there's threat assessments that can happen. I'm not a threat assessment guru by any means, but it's where they sit down with school staff as well as others and talk about kids and make game plans, safety plans, to address some issues that are brought to their attention. And some of this, I wouldn't say all this information is brought to the rest of the department, but when they feel, hey, it's something that's important that should be shared, then they share that with the rest of the police department so that we can proactively make sure that the community's safe, as well as the school being safe. So I have seen benefits from it in my almost 6 years here at Keizer P.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Councilor Christopher?
Thank you so much for coming, Chrissy. I really appreciate it. And thank you for taking the slings and arrows representing Keizer. We have just one position of the 7. So you walk in being underrepresented. So thank you so much for speaking to our needs. But I'm confused. I understand you're trying to be really cautious in what you're telling us. Are you advocating? Do not all schools have SSAs?
Nope, not at all.
So how many schools are in the Salem Keizer School District?
Oh, I should know that off the top of my head, and I don't remember a lot.
Okay.
I mean, we have under now 40,000 students, to give you an idea. We're closing more and more schools.
Okay.
Because we're dipping and I don't know, there's about 12 to 1,300 on average every year that leave our district.
Okay.
But
is that what you're advocating for, or is that one of the items you're advocating? I wasn't really clear on what
to have
do you
more,
want?
well, so this is a trigger topic, and I don't want to scare anyone away. It's been a long road getting this far, and that is if I had time, I could give you all kinds of stories, and even from childhood, growing up in the Salem Keizer district, the difference that their presence makes. I'm so tired of us saying that we didn't know, we didn't see signs as a district. Don't worry, we can handle it. We're totally equipped, and then send kids out on the streets, and then they get shot. Or we see all the social media posts of other kids threatening the other kids. Dare we not use the word gang or whoever the problem is that are harassing our kids? Because it doesn't matter what color you are, it doesn't matter what age you are in our districts, we have accountability and we should be taken care of and loving, supporting our kids. So I would like to see that. It's been clear from our superintendent that we'll never have SROs in the district under this. But again, school support officers, same thing, that's a start. So I'm willing to start somewhere as opposed to nowhere and continue to virtue signal. I'm so sorry, but it's.
But that's what you're advocating for.
Pushing
Okay.
forward steps of more security and public engagement, all hands on deck, and saying, hey, we have a problem, we're gonna be proactive, we're gonna stop losing our kids, we're gonna stop having shootings, because we all see the signs and we're not, what we're trying to do, we had to submit FOIA requests from the Department of Education, ODE, Salem Keizer, Marion County DA's office, Salem PD, to collect the data because no one's sharing it. We're all supposed to, the district doesn't share it anywhere, so nobody knows what's happening. So we don't know, do we have signs that this kiddo is having troubles out in the community that could be brought into our schools? And so on. So we're trying to open up that ability to create the policies for a tool that the district needs, seeing the signs to communicate with our other agencies so that we can be proactive and stop having a decline and losing our kids to all kinds of other things, because along with that comes suicide and everything else. And our kids should not be afraid to go to school. Our parents shouldn't be afraid to send our kids to school. And if they want this district to continue and not just go defunct, then I feel that we better start acting the way people expect us to, and at least have their kids go home safe and unharmed.
Follow up?
Follow up just to say thank you for having the courage to say real words and to talk to us about that. I would also follow up and say it's unusual, and I don't know, I haven't been on city council for a long time. I don't know if you're a separate government because you're a district. You're a separate taxing government. We don't usually take positions telling one government what to do. However, we're 7 individual people, and we 7 individual people often do share our opinions. And so, certainly, any of us could support your efforts. And again, I thank you so much for having the courage to speak real words.
Life is short and our kids are suffering, so they needed help yesterday. Thank you.
So I did receive a copy of the draft policy that is being put forward by Dr. Chandra Giri. And Chief Copeland was willing to look at that and send it to our school safety officers for their comments and review to get back to Dr. Chandra Giri. Since while we are individuals, we are in partnership with the school district through the contract that we have for the school safety officers. To follow up on your comment, these are the only ones in the entire district.
Yeah.
The 2.5 FTE that are housed here at the Keizer Police Department are the only ones for the entire Salem-Keizer School District. They have security at the campuses, but we're the only ones with the school safety officers. So I just want to make that clear for the record. But Chief Copeland was willing to send that to the school safety officer team for their comments as well, since this is a policy they would have to be working under as well.
And I thank you very much for that, and as a city, because if we didn't have Keizer bucking up and offering half the funding for that, they would have nothing. And I can't imagine the additional horror stories that we've been hearing out of it. We would hear as a community, right? We don't hear it as board members typically, but as a community member that happens to our kiddos. So I would like to move us in the direction and stop feigning that we aren't funded enough to pay for things between all the, our district and so on. And ideally, again, create an alliance again with our safety individuals and departments around our community to take care of all of our kids the way that we say that we intend to, so.
So if somebody wants to reach you in order to get a copy of that petition or other information, how can they reach you?
So, actually, you can, I don't know if I should, I can give you my, my personal email, and I can have the parent reach out, because it was a parent that started this petition. Or if anyone, I don't know if this is for, I can leave it actually with the city council and petitions. And so if anyone wants it, do you have the ability by chance do you have a secretary that they could reach out to? Anyone? No? Okay.
Separate government.
Okay, yes. So what if that parent had dropped off petitions here at City Hall? Does that work for people to come? Not that either? Okay.
It would probably have to be, so if they can get hold of you or community members who are wanting to help out as individuals. So I would encourage them to reach out to you, and then you can connect people up with how they can reach that parent. And if there's a website or a Facebook page, that would be a great way for people to be able to connect and get involved, and then spread the word within their neighborhoods and just share information, facts and the opportunities to help take care of our kids. So if they can reach out to you and neighbors and so forth. So if you have that information of who they can get hold of, who's leading the petition drive, that would be great, and be able to put that out there.
Okay.
Okay.
So I feel bad. I should have asked them ahead of time if I could give their information. I should have been prepped for that. Okay. I don't know, honestly, if there's a rule, if anyone were to otherwise just say, email me, or, a board member to connect you, honestly. I would assume it would be okay.
Yeah, we get emails all the time.
Yeah.
That's what yep.
So Chrissy, Krissy, .Hudson, HUDSON, at SAL, Keiz, KEIZ, .K12.or.US. Yes. And I know that's not out there because we have it concealed. So anyone is welcome to email me always. So thank you all. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Anyone else under public comment not related to the budget? Okay, everybody's here for budget. Fantastic. Let's do the consent calendar. Council President Starr?
Let me get my eyeballs on here. Our consent calendar for tonight reads, item A, approval of the May 18th, 2026 regular session minutes. Item B, resolution authorizing an amendment to the city manager's employment contract. And item C, a resolution authorizing an amendment to the city attorney's employment contract.
Thank you very much. Are there any polls? Seeing none. Council President Starr?
I move that we adopt the consent calendar as read.
Second.
The consent calendar has been moved and seconded. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, signify by saying no. Motion passes unanimously. All right, the main event. I'd like to open a public hearing for the following items. This will be one hearing to cover all of the ordinances, resolutions relative to the Keizer City budget. Ordinance relating to water rates, amending Keizer Code Section 42-65. Resolution amending the stormwater utility fee, amending Resolution R 2014-2504, repealing R 2026-3644. Resolution amending the multifamily City of Keizer Park Services fee, repealing Resolution R 2025-3587. Resolution declaring the city's election to receive state revenues. Resolution certifying that the City of Keizer provides 4 or more municipal services. And resolution adopting the fiscal year 2026-27 budget, making appropriations, and imposing and categorizing taxes. So we will be taking each of those resolutions and ordinances individually as far as motions go, but the public hearing is all-inclusive. And with that, I will turn it over to City Manager for the opening remarks.
I'm going to pass the ball to Mr. Wood.
Mr. Wood.
Well, contrary to Mr. Dempster, I wish I could find the money. If I could find the money, this would be the year to do that. Budget Committee, City Council, over the last several years, you've done a very effective job of cinching the belts as tight as we can. Unfortunately, this year, we just couldn't cinch it any farther. We're kind of at the edge of the fiscal cliff. Some of this we've been kind of planning on. Some of it kind of caught us a little bit by surprise, unfortunately. We are looking at several fairly big rate increases. Inflation has caught up with the city. I wish it were different. I wish we could make different choices, but we're kind of at the point where we just don't have any more money to find. So in order to keep service levels equivalent to what we've had in the past, we are looking at a water rate increase. We're looking at a stormwater increase and a multifamily park fee increase tonight. The police services fee has already been addressed at a previous council meeting, so we don't need to bring that one up tonight. However, we do have a work session still planned to do some additional work on those fees. So with that, I'll go ahead and turn it back over for the public comments at this point, and then I can go through each of the different resolutions when the time, and ordinances when the time comes.
All right, thank you very much. So for the record, we have written comment that has been submitted by Tammy Kunz, Keizer, Greater Northeast Keizer Neighborhood Association President, Greater Northeast Keizer Neighborhood Association Community ROI and Association Leverage Report, and Greater Northeast Keizer Neighborhood Association Watch Annual Impact Report. From Rhonda Rich, West Keizer Neighborhood Association President, $1,200 budget request for fiscal year 26-27. From Francis Kessler, a resident of Keizer, in support of increasing police fee and funding alternatives. From Patty Tischer, President, Greater Gubser Neighborhood Association President, $1,200 budget request for fiscal year 26-27. All of those are entered into the record as submitted. And then I have folks signed up for public comment. I would like to invite from SEDCOR, Eric Anderson and Kip Morris, to talk to us about SEDCOR. So it's 5 minutes, and City of Residents, and of course, the organization, and the time is yours. Thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you, Mayor Clark. Thank you for having us here. I'm Eric Anderson, president of SEDCOR, and I live on 670 High Street in Salem.
Kip Morris with SEDCOR. Thank you, Madam Mayor, for having us tonight, City Council, city staff, and members of the community. I live at 4443 Sunnyside Road, Southeast Salem.
So I just thought we'd start a little bit with a little bit of background on SEDCOR. We've been thankful for the City of Keizer's membership in our organization. We're a 44-year-old regional nonprofit that does economic development in Marion, Polk, and Yamhill counties. Last year was a very active year for us in the region. But, you know, we do have 23 cities in the 3 counties that we serve that are paid members of SEDCOR, and we do work all over the region. I wanted to kind of highlight some of the Marion County things that we do, because I know it does impact residents of Keizer and businesses that are here as well, and entrepreneurs. You know, we do work in a lot of industries, but we target mostly traded sector, which is manufacturing. Those are the businesses that have the biggest impact and the biggest multiplier effect when it comes to the impact on their jobs and the sales that they make. Last year, as I mentioned, we had a very successful year in Marion County with a lot of local businesses expanding and creating jobs for residents. George Packing and Northwest Hazelnut successfully acquired the Hazelnut Growers of Oregon project just outside of Donald. Valley Fab was approved for a Marion County rural industrial property tax. GK Machine invested in additional machinery and equipment and additional over the new facility that they had just opened up, and we helped them secure funding for that, or a tax break for that last year. Jackman Industries in Salem brought equipment that allows them to expand their product line. And Don Poncho moved into its new 300,000 square foot building as their 5th location in Marion County since their inception. All of those projects, plus some other ones in the region, add up to a total of $179 million of investment, creating 350 new jobs and generating for future annual property tax revenue estimated over $3.4 million for the communities that we serve. Some other projects that we work on, Latino Microenterprise Development Program. We work with the Latino Business Alliance on delivering that resource. We've just finished doing, I think, our 12th cohort of the Latino Microenterprise Development Program, and roughly 300 people have been trained on that. It's a 12-week course for entrepreneurs in culturally and linguistically appropriate training. I looked at least the first couple of cohorts that we did in Salem, and looks like out of the 45 people that went through those 2, we had 13 businesses from Keizer, 13 businesses and entrepreneurs from Keizer. That's just the first 2 of those that I had access to this morning, the records. Also, the Launch Mid-Valley Regional Innovation Hub provides us some resources to do all sorts of programming around the region. We have coffee clubs for entrepreneurs. We did try, we talked to the mayor about trying to start one of those here in Keizer. That's still, if we can find a local sponsor for that, we'll work with them on that in the future. We do, networking pub talks for entrepreneurs, startup boot camps, which is a 2.5-day intensive business plan development for new businesses or expanding businesses. Pitch Willamette, where we bring entrepreneurs together and they come out and work on their pitch and then ask for investment dollars from local investors. And the Oregon Angel Food Marketplace, we're looking like we're doing our 4th one this year. That this past year brought 22 local food companies, consumer packaged good companies together We attracted over 200 people that come and test their wares and also buy some locally made products for the holidays. So, you know, lots of varieties of the programming that we do that is available to businesses here in Keizer.
The thing I'd like to add to that for people's edification, the Latino Micro Enterprise Development Program has been going on since 2022. And we've already leveraged over $400,000 of funding for that program that's brought in addition to contracts and services that are regionally connected to SEDCOR. So I'll leave that. We're right at time, so.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for being here. There was a lot of people who know what SEDCOR is, especially people who are in business in our community, and why it's been important for cities and, you know, for governments in general to be part of the conversation around economic development, since it's in cities where economic development happens. So appreciate that, and open it up for questions from anybody here about what SEDCOR is and what they do for our community. All right. Well, thank you so much, and really appreciate your work to grow. I do want to have one thing. So if I remember correctly from a recent meeting, there were statistics on job growth in the different metropolitan statistical areas in Oregon. And we know Oregon's been having a tough time, but it turned out that the SEDCOR area was different for jobs.
Yeah, we were very pleased with that. That was came from the Employment Department, and they periodically send out updates on what's going on in job creation in the region or in the state. And they looked at the 5 major metropolitan statistical areas in the state, and only one of them was actually positive job growth, which was the Salem MSA, which is all of Marion County and Polk County. I was somewhat surprised, not that we haven't seen good job growth in the projects that we've been working on, certainly, but when you hear all the hot talk about Bend and other places, it was a nice opportunity for us to shine, for a change. We may not be the hottest region a lot of the time, but I think we're slow and steady, and particularly with the base of food and beverage, I think that that's allowed us to withstand issues around the economy when it comes to recessions. People still need to eat, and we're good at growing things and making things with what we grow. So thank you for the reminder.
Absolutely. And just one more thing, and that was, you mentioned that at least 13 businesses in the first couple of cohorts. So Keizer businesses are already taking advantage of, or taking the opportunity to work through SEDCOR. But we also have a lot of area around us, agricultural and so forth. But does that impact the ability of people who live in Keizer to find, family wage employment?
Well, I think it's, the kinds of businesses that we work with, as I mentioned, manufacturing. I mean, right now, for the last several years, we've relied on, basically 600 acres of Mill Creek in South Salem as being our ready-to-go industrial land. And right now, we don't have any real green, industrial sites of certain sizes. We have, pockets here and there. So one of the things that we're really active on right now is just trying to help communities identify where there might be industrial lands available in the future, industrial sites, work with the owners. Because it's, as we all know, trying to extend your urban growth boundary, look at it, exclusive farm use land, is a very difficult process to bring in and rezone. So I think we're trying to work smarter and identify where there are properties that that we might be able to look at and work with the landowners and the communities to see if the infrastructure is there and the workforce is there and the transportation access is there to allow them to be more productive employment lands.
Mm-hmm. So, and then finally, because you mentioned about land, and I've heard a lot of this from the state, looking for the industrial land and employment land in general. Since we're in one shared urban growth boundary, Keizer and Salem will both necessarily have to be involved in conversations if we're looking for regionally for land for future job growth. Would that be a fair assessment?
Yes, I mean, it's, when we start looking at really the I-5 corridor in Marion County, Woodburn has brought in some industrial land into their urban growth boundary. And I think we've all seen the kind of growth that's been happening up there, both residential and industrial, commercial. But it's been a while since the Salem Keizer urban growth boundary has expanded. And I think there's a lot of work around economic opportunity analyses to get to the point where we understand how much land will be needed for the long-term future to allow for growth opportunities and employment opportunities in the future.
Well, thank you. Appreciate.
I do want to thank you for your participation on the board as well. For several years, you've represented Keizer well, and I know we were happy to have you write a column for our magazine as well. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Well, Keizer tries to show up at every place where decisions are being made for our future, so I appreciate the opportunity to serve. Just so folks know, Keizer's not guaranteed a position on the board. I have to apply for it just like everybody else. So appreciate that. Councilor Kohler has a question.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Kind of a statement. Don Pancho, moving into the new facility, vacated their old facility, and Marion Polk Food Share has acquired that and is going to move into that. So they'll be able to expand, much needed, the facility.
And actually, coincidentally, tomorrow afternoon, I'll be touring the former Don Pancho facility with the Food Share folks, because they've got some extra space in there for future growth, but also for some food production that they may not potentially use right away. So we're hoping that that might be good space to bring in some other like-minded businesses to be able to be productive in that space.
And that's what happens when you are well-connected and understand the markets. So I love it. All right. Any other questions? All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. And I do have some copies of last year's annual report if people are interested.
Do you want to leave that with Ms. Bissett?
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. I have several folks from neighborhood associations, so I'm just going to go down the list. We'll start with Tammy Kunz from Greater Northeast Keizer Neighborhood Association.
Tammy Kunz, Greater Northeast Keizer Neighborhood Association. This is really just to reiterate everything that you guys have in front of you. My name is Tammy Kunz. I'm president of Greater Northeast Keizer Neighborhood Association. I live in Keizer, and tonight I'm here to represent our families. We have roughly 2,000 families and local businesses within our boundaries. It's a formal opposition to restore our $1,200 annual allocation for 26-27 physical budget. The city is a multi-million-dollar budget. A $200 reduction in eliminating marketing funds may seem like a minor item, but you've also cut our budgets by an additional $200. We are grassroots organizations. We have turned in quite a large document, so I won't cover all of that, but we are the only group right now that is using multilingual languages in our association, from English, Spanish, Russian, and Ukrainian. Some of the other items, eroding our community safety. It limits our outreach and capacity for essential events like National Night Out, our upcoming multicultural event with Kennedy Neighborhood Family Council on July 24th. Soliciting residents for advocacy, it reduces our efficiency in addressing hyper-infrastructure gaps, critical pedestrian safety and traffic calming measures. Corridor desperately needs some repairs. Weakening transparency within our communities. We're the only group using Zoom. We have already agreed and taken care of the paperwork with Lily to come in September and do hybrid meetings on top of what we're already doing. I'm just asking that you reinstate and restore our budget to $1,200 for all the neighborhood associations. West Keizer and I are the only two that have websites that we maintain, and we partner with a lot of other groups.
All right, thank you. Any questions for Ms. Kunz? All right, thank you very much. Wes Keizer. Rhonda Rich.
Sorry to have a comment.
Oh, I didn't see, I'm sorry. Counselor Cross, did you have a question or a comment? For Ms. Kunz? Yes, go ahead. Okay.
I don't. I'm not sure why it said I did. Sorry.
Okay, not a problem. All right, just wanted to check. Thank you. All right. Wes Keizer.
Good evening, Mayor Clark, City Council, City Staff. My name is Rhonda Rich, and I'm President of the West Keizer Neighborhood Association. And again, I'm here tonight. I did submit a written testimony about 5 pages long, so I won't read that all. I hope you all had time to look at it. We did submit our receipts. We spent $1,204 and some cents, so I did get reimbursed for the $1,200. We had asked for $1,400 in our initial request for the budget. Along with that was, and I don't know if we ever came to you about that, but we did go to multimodal to get signs that say slow down, pets and kids at play, which we were going to distribute to neighbors who didn't meet the criteria on the neighborhood traffic management plan, and ask them to also put in a brochure box in their yard. So it would go along with the promotional. Everything is to promote our neighborhood association, everything that we do. So on March 12th, before the state of the city, all 5 of the neighborhood associations I mentioned did discuss our budgets. 3 of us were going to ask for the $1,400, and we did. And the other 2 decided that the $1,200 was fine for them. So we thought with that $1,000 that took away from the banner, we thought that was going to, and I think Tim mentioned this, that the split 5 ways, that would maybe increase each of our budgets $200. So that's why we kind of felt maybe we could ask for some more money. But we're not asking for that right now. We're asking for the $1,200 to reinstate that, and we will have to absorb the joint neighborhood association advertising, which we've built a pretty good base right now. We have 4 ads a year with the Keizer Times, which costs $400 for all of us. So that would be, about $75 a piece that we will have to absorb. So I know each neighborhood association did request at least the minimum of $1,200. We hope that you will reinstate that. I don't know if there's any other questions you have. I did try to address the 2 questions that were presented to me 2 weeks ago about the cash donations. We figured about $1,000, and this is really guesstimates because we don't keep track of this during the year. I mean, we just pay out of our pocket and just figure that was a good time. So, and then the total hours that we went back through, and 1,563 hours, volunteer hours. That's mostly board member hours. Of all the things that we do. And I want to stress that each of us are different, that we do, we don't do a big national night out, but I think it's great that, I think there's 3 neighborhood associations now that do that. We don't all do newsletters. So to compare, we're all asking for the same amount of money, but we use it differently to promote our neighborhood associations. So with that, if you had any questions, I'd just appreciate if you'd reconsider tonight.
I see Counselor Cross, you have your hand up, yes?
I don't know where the hand is on this Zoom. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right, just checking. All right. One of the programs that West Keizer does is the food barrels. So do you want to talk briefly about that, part of how you leverage the connection of the neighborhood association into the community?
Well, we've been doing that for many years. We have 2 food barrels, one at Copper Creek Mercantile and one at Bi-Mart. And last year, Dennis Phipps and Carol Phipps really managed that. I filled in a couple times when the government shut down, and then we had like 1,000 pounds that I had to pick up one day. But last year, we took in 3,500 pounds of food and $1,010. So they've been very good partners. I think Dennis goes over there twice a week and takes the food to our local food bank. And so we just, we have our logo on the barrel. So it's a good thing. It's a thing that we do for our community.
And then I want to follow up with one more comment. You said that there are expenditures that you have where it's quote out of pocket. So it's part of volunteering, and all of us are very aware that we pay for things. There's a cost to volunteering. However, serving on a neighborhood association board doesn't feel to me like it should cost the board members personally, that it should be something that we're keeping track of so we understand the true cost of operating a neighborhood association. So can you help me understand a little bit of what, maybe a couple of examples of what that looks like, that you go, I can donate that, and it helps my neighborhood association do more than the budget would normally pay for?
Yeah, I think some of these are a little gray area because like in the neighborhood family council and say we get little widgets or something. And I know Gubser does this, does a little package with mental health items in there too, and they put their sticker on the bag. So they're handing those out at National Night Out. So it's promoting their neighborhood association. I think Patty's gotten some grant money too, but those are kind of things that we pay out of pocket, like little popper things at the neighborhood family council to get, and at the Harvest Festival, just little toys to get the parents to come over to the table so we can tell the parents about us. I think the next time we meet at a work session, we might want to discuss more about that. But in the past, it's that we can use our money for communications is basically what we have been using the money for newsletters, for signage. So like I said, that's kind of a gray area. And a lot of us don't mind spending money, but like the flowers that we do at Cummings, Carol just donates those, and Carolyn donates cookies at every meeting, and Mandy's been making cupcakes. If you went to Soggy Day in the Park, that was one of the items I felt. And we're not real clear on that because 2 years ago, we talked about maybe allocating like $20 a meeting for food, but I don't think that's on the guidelines of our expenditures. But we did give Mandy some money for the cupcakes because it pulled people into our booth. So there was only, it was only $40 out of our $1,200, but, and like I said, we don't normally account for that, so. But we can talk about it in the future,
So it's a good food for thought for, sorry, no pun intended, for our next work session. Questions for Ms. Rich? Councilor Kohler.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Mrs. Rich, thank you for your time and effort that you put into your neighborhood association. It's by far the largest association that we have in Keizer, and one of, it's not the oldest, but it's one of the oldest, and it doesn't happen by just sitting around watching things. So thank you for the work that you do. Is there any costs associated with the food barrels?
No, we purchased the food barrels from Uline, I think, had them wrapped. I think it was like $100 each, And they've held up for, I don't know, we've had them for 5 or 6 years. I think Carol Dorfler started those.
Is that something that, follow up? Is that
It's
something
hard
that Carol
to find places.
paid for a long time ago then, or?
Pardon?
Is that something that Carol paid for a long time ago then? Or
No,
was that something
the
that-
neighborhood association did. We paid for the barrel and the wrap because we figured that was promoting our neighborhood association, advertising.
Good, thank you.
All right, any other questions? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Southeast.
Introduce yourself.
Oh, I'm Don Davis. I'm the co-chairman of the Southeast Neighborhood Association.
And Colleen Bush, president of SECNA. So it came to our attention, and I've been out of town for the past month, so that I'm just going to try and read. Neighborhood associations 26-27 budgets had been dropped to 1,000 from the 1,200 that was appropriated in the 25-26 budget cycle.
Colleen, can you pull the microphone a little closer to you? It might help.
How's that?
Perfect.
Thank you.
Yes, that'll help you.
Although the leaders of the associations had discussed asking for 1,400 each and not asking for the one-time amount for the community banner or the other advertising, this was not approved and the amount was dropped as discussed. I would like to testify to the funds we have spent this year and plan to spend in June, finish out our budget cycle, and how we have leveraged service to our community alongside those amounts, and to give a suggested proposal for adjusted budget amounts for the $1,000 that council is suggesting we operate within this year. The paper lists all the money we spent, what it was for. Do you want me to read all that? Okay.
There, we got it.
It's all right there. So at this point, at the bottom of the page one, at least $258.67 for purchase of items in June for our national night out in August, such as printing of flyers about SECNA, SACs, and the small giveaways that Rhonda had talked about for theirs as well. We had planned to do an honorarium for Ken, but we might not have time to get that done. And we found out that putting something in Ben Miller Park was discouraged due to high vandalism issues in our Ben Miller Park. Some of the things we've done to benefit the community. Gifts of service by our board members. Mr. Davis here is the king of graffiti abatement. He has been monitoring the graffiti issues in our neighborhood on his own time, frequently walking, calls into the city on things he's not able to clean up or not allowed to clean up based on where the graffiti is. Keizer Code Enforcement Department knows him really well. Recently, he reported the tall grass on the north of new apartments at Chariot by Bimart on May 28, right? And it was mowed on the 30th. It only took 2 days. Gorgeous. And when the new construction was happening on the corner of Alder and Brooks, parking of added vehicles caused safety issues, and Don was the one who spearheaded that. And now there's also tall grass in that intersection while you cannot see coming to that. Our other board members, Karina and Rachel Navarro, and Dawn and Samantha Russell, regularly keep their eyes on our Ben Miller Park and the pedestrian crossing at the corner of Alder and Pleasant View. When the fire hydrant was hit, it was called in by one of them and repaired pretty quickly. The crosswalk has been readjusted and the stop sign moved to make that crossing safer due to their diligent eyes on the neighborhood as well. And Dawn and Samantha are part of the PTC at Weddell, and they've been trying really hard to get a crossing guard at that dangerous intersection, and it's been falling on deaf ears. After-school fights have been brought to the attention of Keizer Police, as well as vandalism, Ben Miller Park, our poor park. Here's other things we've done. We've discussed beaver activity with our neighbors, invited city employees to our meetings, as well as members of the REC, Keizer Community Foundation, the Traffic Management Plan members, Keizer Salem Area Senior Center, and I personally helped donate tickets to the recent dance that they had. Got to do stuff for people in our neighborhood, right? We partnered with the Southeast Keizer Community Center, encouraging their members by helping with dinners, their special events, activities. And Karina is a great resource for finding donors to help in any ways for this group, for our National Night Out, anything we try to do. We were able to work with Keizer United, and they donated money for the Thanksgiving meals. Our board has helped with the Keizer Center cleanup, Civic Center cleanup, candidate forum, State of the City, volunteered at Gubser Lights collection site, attended the tree lighting, hosted a huge national night out event with Keizer Elks, Greater Northeast Keizer Neighborhood Association. We had a table at Keizer Fire District Open House, Clagger Creek Watershed's Soggy Day in the Park, which was not soggy. And we will have a couple of us at, Weddell Safety Fair, and I attend Keizer Chamber of Greeters events most of the time and keep up our Facebook page. So it's not about the money, but the money sure helps. And the last page is our general version of what, I have to get to it.
Yep.
It's there. My time's up.
So to finish that thought, after getting the report of the reduction in budget, this is what the Southeast Keizer Neighborhood Association is looking at for expenditures for the coming year. So just be clear, the Southeast Keizer Neighborhood Association does not have a website, correct?
We just have a Facebook group page.
Facebook group page.
And we do have an email. We finally did that.
Okay. So can you talk a little bit about the partnership with Southeast Keizer Community Center? Because this is, again, unique to our neighborhood associations with that partnership and reaching a very diverse community. It's a Title I area for the two schools and a very diverse community. So can you talk to a little bit about that? Thank you,
Yes.
Dawn, for sharing, for saving her voice.
Absolutely. Again, my name's Don Davis, and I'm part of the Southeast Neighborhood Association. So every week, except during the summer, it's held at the Mennonite Church off of Candlewood. They have a dinner that's, and an opportunity for neighborhood kids, for families to go, a free dinner, and there's games. I know the big thing that's coming up, they do a great job with any big event coming on. And so whether it was Easter and an Easter egg hunt, we've got 6 bikes that's being donated. Oh,
Wow.
That's for the safety night at Weddell. I get those confused. But they've got the back to school or end of school year where they have just big carnival. They bring in events and everything. It's really an opportunity for the neighborhood and a lot of those that wouldn't have that opportunity to get together and to just have fun and a meal and things like that. And that's pretty much what they do. And it's pretty neat.
Well, thank you for that. Yeah, go ahead. Councilor Kohler?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Can I expand on that just a little bit? The Mennonite Church has been very helpful to keep that going. I've been there many times and have helped cook and participated in fellowship with the truly diverse group that's there. Great people, a lot of fun. They provide, beginning of the year, they'll provide backpacks and school supplies and at the end of the year, like they have the big party, and this is coming up here in a week or so. But it's big kudos to the Mennonite Church for supporting and sponsoring that, and then for Karina and her family for really pushing it forward, and it's been a great thing.
I try to be clarifying here. It's not the church that's doing that. It's their Southeast Keizer Community Center board. It's a separate entity at the church.
They just meet at the church.
Yes.
Yeah, but they're supplying the kitchen and
Yes.
and a lot of
Yes.
those kind of things.
So they opened their facility for the community center operation there, and they welcome neighborhood association participation.
And the garden and.
And the garden and the school connections and so forth. Just one more thing, you mentioned, based on the comments that we received earlier from a school board member, Chrissy Hudson, talking about issues of violence in the schools that spills out in the community, and you mentioned that there's reporting through the neighborhood that there are fights that occur and so forth that are at Ben Miller Park and other locations. How has the partnership with the Neighborhood Association with the school helped with providing a broader understanding for the community on how they can get involved for safety of our young people?
First of all, just a communication. Whenever, it kind of helps that Rachel and Karina, they live right across from Ben Miller Park. And so being able to have those eyes and ears of what, and I live really close to, and so we're able to take that information and go to the schools. We've had pretty good success with Weddell. Claggett Creek.
It's tough.
It's been tough.
Yeah.
And so, so really, it's just been a matter of just working together and keeping that line of communication open. And it helps that Samantha and I are both on the parent-teacher club for Weddell. And the issues that we've talked about with the crossing guard, where it's been those kind of things. But, you know, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? And that's what that's what we've been trying to do, is just making sure people are aware that what's going on in our neighborhood, that have the ability to make decisions. And
Appreciate that. Any other questions for Southeast? Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And for the work you're doing in the Southeast community.
Thank you.
Any other neighborhood associations? Northwest is not coming tonight, and then Gupser. They sent an email.
But
Okay.
they are not contesting the budgeted amount.
Right, yeah. Northwest.
So
Northwest. They're not contesting.
They're
the-
fine with the 1,000.
They can make the 1,000 work, yep. All right, thank you for that. It was 1,000. That was the final, 1,000 each was the final motion, correct? Okay, that's what I thought. Jen, did you want to talk about Keizer United? Sure. Invite you down.
Good evening. I'm Jennifer Palinuk, and I am a Keizer resident. I'm also the chair of Keizer United, which meets once a month to handle community stuff. So I'm apologizing in advance, as I am still trying to figure out when you all need me here and when you don't. So if I haven't been here on the nights I needed to be, my apologies. But please, at the last budget meeting, there was a lot of conversation. I was listening to it. I wasn't here, but I was listening to it. And there was a lot of talk, I think, regarding the word confused was the word I heard a lot. So I am here to answer any questions, to clarify the areas that I may have come across as confusing.
Well, thank you. Do you want to talk a little bit about the transition of Keizer United back to local management, but also, is there going to be any change for the people who attend Keizer United?
There will be no change for the people that attend Keizer United. I think the attendees will not even notice a difference, to be honest with you. Salem Leadership Foundation had absorbed Keizer United about 2 years ago. And then Salem Leadership Foundation is making some transitions. And so that group is actually coming back, and they will sit underneath the Keizer Chamber Foundation. At least for the first year, we're going to see how it goes and make sure that Keizer United is fitting the Chamber Foundation's, I don't know if needs is the right word, but making sure we're a good fit for them. So There won't be, as far as attendees, they won't even know the difference that it's happening. I will continue to serve. I was a paid Salem Leadership Foundation person. I will continue to serve as the chair as a volunteer.
And then one more thing, and that was, the request has been for $2,000 and for the upcoming fiscal year. And you want to talk a little bit about what that's going to look like for, doing some of the, I wouldn't even call them micro grants. They're ultra micro grants that that Keizer United as a group, invests into activities in the community.
Yeah. So because we're coming out of Salem Leadership Foundation, I am going to form an advisory team. I've already got 3 people that have committed to that. And there will eventually, I'm hoping to aim for about 6 of us. We'll all be from different sectors. So we'll have a county person, we'll have a nonprofit person. There'll be all different sectors attending so that we have a really good variation of people in the community. And we're going to just take a look at some of the ways that Keizer United has been handing out that money. We may find that we need to lower our dollar amount a little bit. We've been at the top of 500. We don't get very many $500 requests, to be honest, but we may find that we need to lower that just so that we can spread that money out further throughout the community. So if you attend Keizer United, you attend 3 times, you can come to a Keizer United meeting and request funding for your community activity. Does that answer what you were after?
Yes.
Okay.
At least for me. I don't know for anybody else. I had another question and it just went clean out of my head. So I'm sure I'll circle back and find it again. But thank you for, helping bring this organization together and to keep it going for convening, bringing together so many sectors. That was it. About how many different organizations show up at just ballpark?
Well, it would not be unusual for us to have at least 40 people at each meeting. So that would be 40 different representations from different, we're talking about agencies, neighborhood association people, community garden people, nonprofit people, it goes on. Faith-based people. So it's a really good representation of Keizer, I think. And then also maybe agencies that are working within Keizer.
And also health agencies. I know
Yes.
Marion County mental health, public health is really good about showing up.
Yep, Salem Health comes each month. They have a representative as well. So it's a really good representation of people working in the Keizer community.
I remembered my question. Keizer Quest.
Yeah.
That was very, very creative and really promoted so much within the community. Where did that come from and why was that something that Keizer United thought was going to be a plus for Keizer?
So my husband and I actually modeled Keizer Quest after an event that we saw in Weatherford, Texas. And so we ran that through Keizer United to make sure it was something that everyone wanted to be a part of. And so for 15 days, we hit a QR code somewhere in Keizer. And we had a Facebook page as well as a texting program that you could sign up for texts, and then you would receive 3 texts a day. And the first text was a real obscure hint. And then by the 3rd text, you pretty much could figure out where that QR code was going to be hidden. And the whole idea was just to teach people about different things in Keizer. So we did one at the Memorial, Total Gold Star Memorial. We actually did one at Ben Miller Park, which I didn't even know you were having the problems that Ben Miller Park was having. So I hope we flooded people in the park that day with positive things. We kind of just hit them all over Keizer. We had over 700 scans, which means over 700 people found the QR codes over those days. We had donations. We actually, that cost Keizer United nothing. We were able to get complete donations for that, but we equate that to be at least $4,000 in donations that were given for that event. And like the grand prize drawing has had over 15,000 views. So I think it was a huge success for the first year. The marketing people that we've worked with have said that we knocked it out of the park as far as success. And we just wanted the people of Keizer to have a free, fun community activity. Families were out there searching. Older generations were out there searching. We monitored it almost every day just to make sure that the QR code was staying in place. And it was really fun to watch the different families come out. Some people found it, some people didn't, some people walked right by it. But yeah, I think it was a huge success. We're hoping to bring that back each year.
The one on mural, that was hilarious.
So yeah, I did bring information on that, but I didn't bring enough for everyone. I just grabbed it as I walked out the door. But we had many sponsors. We actually grew the Facebook page. We just started the Facebook page right before it, and we grew it to, I think, 700 followers, something like that. 72% of the people were women, 28 were men, and the largest group of people searching was actually 35 to 44, which I found interesting. They were about 26% of the people searching. So over 100 questers participated each day. What else? 65,000 Facebook accesses on the page over the course of the 15 days. So people were looking at it. So it was fun. It was a fun, free activity. Costed Keizer United nothing, costed Keizer nothing. Hopefully we just did some good in the community and created a free event for everyone.
Thank you. Councilor Parsons?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Excuse me. Jennifer, I've been a part of your team now for the last couple of years, and I've enjoyed getting to know the different entities that come together for our children and our community. If you're not funded, can you still keep the program and we can work with maybe grants or donations or whatever, or?
I mean, yeah, I think that if we were not to be funded, I mean, that's probably the wrong answer to be giving all of you, but I want to be honest about it. I think that the collaboration at the meetings will still happen. For the amount of money we give out is very small compared to the collaboration that happens at the meetings. I think the funding is an incentive though, for people, especially for people that are wanting just like, you know, a grassroots activity that someone wants to start. It is an incentive to say, hey, wait, I might be able to pull this off. So, in all honesty, yeah, if you don't fund us, I think we'll still happen. I think honestly, one of the best things about Keizer United is that there is city buy-in, and that I think is a unique piece to the different teams that happen throughout Salem Keizer. There isn't another team out there that has the city buy-in like Keizer United does.
Okay, thank you, Jennifer.
Yeah.
Thank you. Council President Starr?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just a couple of questions. When is the transition to Keizer Chamber Foundation effective?
It will be effective today. I am officially not working for Salem Leadership Foundation anymore.
Okay.
So,
and is there a written agreement or anything administrative in place that will guide the operational agreement between Keizer United and the Keizer Chamber Foundation?
that has not been established.
Okay. And do you know when that will happen? I mean, I guess I'm trying to understand when I look at just the work that I do every day with programs, like, how can it be effective if there's not an agreement in place?
That's a good question. I don't have an agreement in place. We could do a memorandum of understanding.
Okay.
It's going to require very little from the Keizer Chamber Foundation. Maybe them writing a couple checks a month and maybe receiving a couple checks a year. But other than that, it's from an amount of work it will create for them, it will be very, very small.
But they're still providing the liability insurance, the D&O insurance, the profit and loss statement. Like I think that's what I'm trying to understand is what is that arrangement
They
look
are serving
like?
as the fiscal agent, yes.
To include, but no, I think I would be more comfortable knowing what that administrative arrangement looked like.
I can definitely
where
work on that.
The
I have a
funding was
meeting with them
going.
tomorrow.
Are they providing, so then you would be included in their 990 and their financial reporting? Or are you?
I honestly cannot answer that.
Okay.
I think the actual Chamber Foundation, in my understanding, is a pretty new entity, and so, is it not? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, the Keizer Chamber Foundation?
It's just been restarted,
Well, okay, it might be restarted, but it's been around for.
but it's
4
been
years.
gone for a long time. Yeah.
I have a second.
Sorry.
I had my second.
I'm happy to come back with that information after.
All right. So, what we were talking about was, the Keizer Chamber Foundation is a restart. So yes, they are reorganizing. It has been defunct for quite some time and is relatively new. And I will go back to Council President Starr for her follow-up.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Did Salem Leadership Foundation, send forth with goodwill any monies for Keizer United?
There was still $514 in the budget, and so that will be moving over. They are not committing to giving any more money.
So not like a thank you, severance, goodwill gift,
No.
goodbye. Okay, good luck.
The
Okay,
lunches.
great, thank you.
But they're doing the lunches for,
Oh, they are providing lunches for the next 3 months. Sorry, that is true.
June, July, and August?
June, July, and August. And then after that, obviously before that, I will be securing money either for lunches through other partners that we have, or we just won't provide lunch. It'll be one of the two.
A BYOB. Okay, bring your own bag?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Great. So, thank you.
thank you for the clarification. All right,
Bring your own bag, yeah.
Bring your own bag.
Bring your own bag.
all right. Thank you so much.
Good.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, we've heard from almost everybody here. Anybody else wish to address the council on the budget? Okay, we've heard from everybody. So with that, council, do you need anything further before we close the public hearing portion of the proceedings? Councilor Christopher.
Okay, because we're taking these all, we'll handle each one of these separately once we close the hearing.
That is correct.
So if I have a question regarding water rates, ask it now, because after this, we're moving through voting.
We'll have deliberation.
We'll put the motion, let's say, for example, water rates, we can put the motion on the table and we can deliberate.
And I can ask a question then?
Yes, you can.
That'd be great.
All right. Anything further before we close the public hearing? Staff, anything else that you think we need to hear? All right. Public hearing is now closed. So, I'm doing a time check. We are going to take a break, around 8 o'clock. So we have about, 15-ish minutes. So we'll get through different steps as far as we can, then we'll take a break and come back and finish. So just to let you know kind of what I'm thinking. Does that sound good to folks?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go on with then, item 8A, ordinance related to water rates, amending Keizer Code Section 42-65. Mr. Wood.
Madam Mayor, City Council, the budget includes a 10% rate increase that we talked about during the Budget Committee meetings. That rate increase will provide approximately $157,800 in additional revenue for use in the water system. That equates to about $1.75 per month per single-family residential house. It is a much bigger rate increase than has been anticipated in the past. The model that we were working off of historically really predicted a 4 to 5% rate increase through the life of the master plan. Some of the challenges that we've experienced, we've had a few years where we didn't have a rate increase or we've had a reduced rate increase. So we've been a little bit slow. We've been cinching our belts as tightly as we can for the benefit of the residents of Keizer. We've also experienced inflationary pricing, specifically with electricity, utilities, just about everything that we've purchased over the last year has gone up in price. So that's why we're seeing a larger than expected rate increase. With the water system, we're moving from being a proactive investing in our capital system to a little bit more reactionary. We have a little bit of dollars available for capital outlay this year, but we will not be working on our master plan. We are going to go back and do some work, refine the master plan for what's left so that we can come back at the next budget cycle and have more of a policy discussion about how do we want to fund the master plan and capital outlay going forward. This is going to be a similar conversation that we have with the stormwater fund, although it's much more a reactionary fund than the water system. One of the things we're going to have to decide, historically, we've paid for all of the capital outlay through the current rates. We would use a pay-as-we-go system, and we've been somewhat debt adverse. As we look to the future, we may need to adjust that policy and say, hey, we're going to be doing large projects rather than small projects each year. And that will obviously imply we'll have to do some debt financing that'll probably have to be paid back over a 10, 15-year period. So with that, I'm free to address any additional questions you may have on the water rate increase.
Thank you very much. Councilor Christopher.
So here's my question. In the staff report, it says, in 2012, 2013, City Council approved a water master plan, which includes $10 million worth of infrastructure improvements. One of those things was an additional reservoir, or whatever you call it. Is that what you call it?
It's called reservoir.
Is that, so that's still part of the master plan, but we know we're not going to be building a reservoir.
I believe that is correct. Yeah, the
So-
demand hasn't been enough to warrant that just yet.
So my question is, does the way that you calculated how much the rates had to increase, did you eliminate the reservoir when you calculated that?
That's correct, yes.
You did, okay. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions on the staff report? Council President Starr?
I move the Keizer City Council adopt ordinance number 2026 relating to water rates and amending Keizer Code Section 42-65.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Keizer City Council adopt ordinance number 2026 relating to water rates, amending Keizer Code Section 42-65. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye. 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 Opposed, signify by saying no. Motion passes unanimously. One down. 8B, resolution amending the stormwater utility fee, amending resolution R 2014-2504, repealing R 2026-3644. Mr. Wood.
Madam Mayor, City Council, a lot of the same comments as the water system. This fund is, I would say, completely transitioned to be reactionary. At this point, we're just funding current operations next year. We don't have any capital outlay plans in process. If something does happen to the system, we're going to have to come back with an emergency resolution, a supplemental budget, do some kind of interfund borrowing, and ultimately have an outside borrowing of some type. Having said that, we are working on putting together a better capital outlay plan. So when we come back next year for the budget time, we'll be able to have a better conversation about what needs to happen with this fund to get it financially stable in the future, to be able to provide for the capital outlay. With that, we are looking at a large increase. It's $2.76 per ESU per month. That is much larger than what we've done in the past. Again, this is probably a combination of inflationary pressures, and also we've had several years where we didn't do a rate increase. We've had, I believe it was about 4 or 5 years in a row, we didn't increase when we probably should have, although we didn't think that we needed the money at the time, so we didn't. With that, if you have any additional questions, I'd be free to address those as well. Thank you.
Councilor Parsons?
It's a question. Thank you, Madam Mayor. Mr. Wood, the project that we just completed at Claggett, the water mitigation, was that part of the stormwater fee?
That is correct, yes.
So can I ask a question, another follow-up?
Follow-up?
We need this, we need money to repair this thing, right? I mean, that's what we were talking about this whole time, that if it breaks and we don't have money in there, we'll have to borrow. Why did we use all that money for that if we knew we needed to do that project?
It's a good question. I believe it was a timing issue. We had the Claggett Creek Boardwalk project farther along in the process, and we couldn't just back out at the time. We didn't identify the need for the stormwater repair till late in 24-25 fiscal year. So I've apologized before, and I think we just got caught short, and that'll be one of the things that haunt me for the rest of my career here of, oops, that was the big financial slip, so.
Okay. Thank you.
Ms. Blaylock?
Thank you, Madam Mayor and Council. I would just like to add to that, the Claggett Wetland Project has been in the city's TMDL, which is our total maximum daily load plan, for a number of years, and DEQ did light a fire in the last iteration of that implementation plan update. that said, when are you going to get this done? Because it had been in the plan for a while and wasn't getting done. So I know the previous director had pressure from DEQ to take action on that. Whether or not that played into the decision for prioritization, but I know that was a pressing issue due to the TMDL.
Okay.
Council President Starr?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Ms. Blaylock, I didn't catch what a TMDL was, and so I'm guessing maybe others didn't. So if you could repeat what that is, what it stands for, what it is, and then what would have happened if we didn't get it done?
Good question.
Thank you for the question. So the TMDL is the total maximum daily load, and that is a water quality management program from DEQ. It is not technically a permit, but it is a mandate for surface water runoff. So our NPDES, other acronym permit, is for discharge. It authorizes us to discharge stormwater through our system. The TMDL is for surface water quality runoff. And so we have impaired waterways like Claggett have been classified by the state as impaired. And so we have to do a management plan of our own in order to help reduce pollution to those waters to restore the beneficial uses. So that plan is developed as a 5-year plan, and that was on the previous plan and did not get completed. And so when we redid the plan again, that is when DEQ said, you need to really get this done. Because if you don't, we can hold you to that, which means we could be held in non-compliance. So while it's not a permit, it is regulatory. So we would have, there would be implications for the city.
What?
What are those? Sorry.
Specifically, they could prevent, well, I guess they could fine us because it is a water quality standard. And that is the Clean Water Act. It all stems from that. So
It sure does.
we could be fined.
Follow up?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And so that was federal or state?
State.
State.
So the Clean Water Act is the federal act, but
And then the
this is.
state implements it or enforces it or whatever we want to call it. Great, thank you.
Mr. Lindsay?
I'd say
And I'll just add, usually, because I've seen where projects like this weren't done in other towns that I've been in.
Oh,
And
do tell.
the fines can be threatened to be pretty steep. And almost always will they say, if you start in on the project, you can use that fine money to do the project. They just really force you to do the project.
Got it.
So they will make you do it, basically.
So we were being proactive and, got
Well,
it, thank you.
yeah.
Or react, yeah,
That was just a question. It was a gun to our head.
yeah.
It was a very, well, it's a great question, and Mr. Wood, you can
That
now
was a great
sleep at night.
Thank you.
This was something that was gonna save the city a lot of money, and we have a whole lot of wildlife along Claggett Creek that we got to see. Really excited about the opening of that area and the restoration, and, looking forward to a lot of, great family activity in that space.
So,
So, yep. Man, the bird list already is pretty impressive. Anything else? Council President Starr, please put a motion.
Thank you. I move the Keizer City Council adopt Resolution R2026, amending the stormwater utility fee and amending Resolution R2014-2504, repealing R2026-3644.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Keizer City Council adopt Resolution R 2026, amending the stormwater utility fee, amending Resolution R 2014-2504, repealing R 2026-3644. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, signify by saying no. Motion passes unanimously. 2 down. Item 8C, resolution amending the multifamily City of Keizer Park Services fee, repealing Resolution R 2025-3587. Mr. Wood?
Madam Mayor, City Council, at the request of the Budget Committee, they wanted me to come back and look at what would happen if we just increased the multifamily rate from what it's currently at a discounted rate to the single-family resident rate. and see if that would be enough to shore up the fund for the next year. I did do that work, and it resulted in additional revenue of $34,700. That combined with the $10,000 reduction to the park grant program does shore us up for next year. So we should be able to move forward with the capital plan that we had in place. The total increase for non-residential or for multifamily residential dwelling units is 62 cents per month. And like I said, that would be $34,700 additional revenue for the park system for next year. With that, I'd be free to address any additional questions.
So I've got a question, and I'll go to Council President Starr. So but the other part we talked about was going to from a per meter to a per door. Is that incorporated in this as well?
That is yes.
Okay, thank you. Council President Starr.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And Mr. Wood, when you say it gives us the funds for the capital projects, I don't want to make assumptions. So could you please outline what those capital projects will be?
Well, the biggest piece will be Country Glen Park. I don't have the other list in front of me, but I believe it's a mower.
The zero-turn mower?
Okay.
I think those are the two main items.
Great, thank you.
All right. Councilor Christopher.
The other part of that discussion in the Budget Committee was the roundup. Are you still working on that little program? So that we can round up on our bill?
Oh, correct, yes.
Okay, so that's to come later.
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that was still in consideration and being worked on. Thank you.
Absolutely.
After my discount program.
Well, that'll probably be it.
And that's going to be interesting conversations coming up this fall. All right. The roundup refers to a program that we see elsewhere where you round up your bill to the nearest dollar in order for that difference to go into the Parks Fund. I don't want anybody to confuse that with the use of a pesticide.
Good clarification.
Thank you.
Or traveling to Pendleton.
Or traveling to Pendleton, although we
But we
definitely
can all
promote
let her
tourism. Okay. We promote let her back. All right, with that, Council President Starr.
I move the Keizer City Council adopt resolution R 2026, amending the City of Keizer Park Services fee and repealing resolution R 2025-3587.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Keizer City Council adopt Resolution R 2026, amending the multifamily City of Keizer Parks Services fee, repealing Resolution R 2025-3587. Any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, signify by saying no. Motion passes unanimously. We're going to do this one because it's simple, and then we're going to take a break before we hit E, which is the main event. Item D, resolution declaring the city's election to receive state revenues, followed by resolution certifying that the City of Keizer provides 4 or more municipal services. Mr. Wood.
Madam Mayor, City Council, the state requires us to adopt these two resolutions in order to receive revenue sharing dollars. We're anticipating receiving about $304,000 next year, and those are dedicated primarily to police operations. With that, I'd be free to address any additional questions.
All right, thank you very much. Any questions of Mr. Wood? Council President Starr.
I move the Keizer City Council adopt resolution R 2026, declaring the city's election to receive state revenues.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Keizer City Council adopt resolution R 2026, declaring the city's election to receive state revenues. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, signify by saying no. Motion passes unanimously. And
I move the Keizer City Council adopt resolution R 2026, certifying that the City of Keizer provides 4 or more municipal services.
Second.
it's been moved and seconded that the Keizer City Council adopt resolution R 2026, certifying that the City of Keizer provides 4 or more municipal services. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, signify by saying no. Motion passes unanimously. We are going to go to recess for 10 minutes. All right, I'd like to call the Keizer City Council back into session. We are going to resume with our agenda at item 8E, resolution adopting the fiscal year 2026-27 budget, making appropriations and imposing and categorizing taxes. So my plan is to go to Mr. Wood for the staff report, and then each of us, if we want to make any changes, I'm just going to work down the row, and we can take each one individually. Mr. Wood.
Madam Mayor, City Council, just first off, want to say thank you to the council, the budget committee, and my fellow staff. It was a challenging year as far as the budget goes, probably the most challenging I've had since I've been here. It's never fun having to consider rate increases. However, I think the committee and council have done a great job working through the issue. The budget committee did meet on May 11th and 12th. They did recommend several adjustments to the budget. Specifically in the Administrative Services Fund, they reduced materials and services to eliminate the SEDCOR membership. In the Water Fund, materials and services was increased to provide for vehicle maintenance, while at the same time the capital outlay was decreased to reduce from buying 2 vehicles to 1 vehicle. The Park Services Fund was reduced by $10,000 as a result of reducing the funds available for the park matching grant program. In the General Fund, materials and services was reduced by a combination of $1,200 as a result of reducing the appropriations for the neighborhood associations by $3,200, and that was offset by adding the $2,000 of appropriations for Keizer United. In the General Fund Planning, materials and services was reduced by $3,600 as a result of reducing travel and training. And then in the police budget, we did increase the materials and services by $15,000 to provide for vehicle maintenance, while at the same time extending the rotation schedule and deferring the purchase of 4 vehicles. That resulted in a $203,000 capital outlay reduction. In the general fund transient occupancy tax, we did increase it by $2,000 to provide additional appropriations for the Keizer Heritage Foundation. Those were the adjustments recommended by the Budget Committee and included in the budget that's presented tonight. You have several options tonight. You can adopt the attached resolution. You can amend the budget estimates. If it's not more than $5,000 or 10% of the fund's expenditures, no additional work is needed. If you do get wild and crazy and go above the 5,000 or 10%, we'll have to do an additional budget hearing. You also have the ability to amend the property tax rate. You can decrease it, but you can't increase it from its 2.0838 rate. I would please ask that you don't do that. That would be bad news. Or you could take no action. If you do take no action tonight, June 30th, the city's appropriations will lapse and we will basically close the city and it'll be no good. So I do recommend you take some action either tonight or on the 15th. So with that, I'd be free to address any questions. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Mr. Wood, questions, Council President Starr.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Mr. Wood, I was trying to keep up. I only had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for dinner, so I'm running a little slow tonight. What was your comment about Keizer United? I heard the 2000 appropriation, but then can you repeat that?
Sure. The general fund non-departmental requirements, the total materials and service budget was reduced by $1,200, and that was the result of neighborhood associations being reduced by $3,200, and that was offset by adding $2,000 of appropriations for Keizer United.
Was there a budget note for Keizer United?
They were required to come back and present additional financial information before we could release the funds.
Can we edit those budget notes?
Sure.
Okay, I'll wait, because she's gonna go down the list, so I just wanted to, thank you.
All right. So if there are changes, if there are things that you would like to suggest, I'm going to start at one end and we'll just work down the list. Councilor Parsons, did you have anything you wanted to bring forward? You don't have to do them all. I'll make another pass.
Well, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of things I'd like to address, but, you know, that being this year is being a tough year on budget, tough on everything. I think it's important that we have to make cuts, and we have to make cuts to everyone, not just to one person. I mean, everyone has to take this load. And so, I'm gonna leave it as is what we did, the other day, except for, the Keizer United. I'd like to see what that budget note said and how we could get them $2,000. If not, we're good.
Mr. Wood?
Sure. The note will be to say we have $2,000 in the budget for them. They just have to come back and address some of the organizational requirements, how they're structuring under Keizer Chamber, Keizer
Chamber Foundation.
Chamber Foundation, yeah.
Yeah. Good? Councilor Kohler?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Mr. Wood, I can't imagine how many sleepless nights you've had. One of the questions that I had about the Park Service Fund had to do with the $10,000 matching grant program. There were two of them, if I remember right. There was the $10,000 matching grant, and then there was one for youth. Are both of them gone at this point, or do we still have a fund available for youth to come and do projects in the parks?
Good question. We have $5,000 to cover both of those programs.
Perfect, thank you.
With that? Okay. I'll back clean up. Council President Starr?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I want to make sure, I heard from Ms. Cisco this evening about moving the money from this year to next year for the student art. Did that get captured in the budget?
That did not. In order to address that, my recommendation would be to adopt the budget as is, and we'll come back with a supplemental budget to move appropriations from this year to next year.
Perfect. I would like to do that. Do we need a motion to do that, or is that just your magic?
We can just make it happen.
Perfect. Thank you. Just magic. And then the chamber budget, we do a new contract every year?
We do?
Or how long was the contract that we had last year for? How long was it good for?
I think maybe what you're getting at is they have a new marketing plan each year.
Okay.
And their second half of their appropriation is based on their progress in the marketing plan.
Okay.
So.
And they report how many times a year?
It's at least once, but I think it's twice. I think in the fall and in the spring.
Right. And so I just want to make sure we stay on top of that in terms of our agreements and reporting. Okay. And then the Keizer United budget, that budget note, I would like to clarify on that budget note that while we have the money in the budget, that nothing is expended in anticipation of being covered by our 2,000 until there's an approved memorandum of agreement with the Chamber Foundation that addresses all of the administrative requirements, the insurance, the D&O insurance, the liability insurance, if they're going to be doing these activities like the Keizer Quest, right? There probably needs to be insurance covering that. So, and then what that administrative fee from the Chamber Foundation is to provide that insurance for Keizer United to operate. And then if there's any kind of administrative fee for them to do the administrative side of the work, because they'll have to do reporting from them as well. So just really tighten up that budget note that money is 1,000% conditional on an approved Chamber Foundation memorandum of agreement.
We can do that.
And that, I would assume that agreement needs to be approved by, I would like anyway, the full advisory team of Keizer United to be part of that memorandum of agreement. And then I have one more.
Please do.
Just one more.
Oh, no, I think we'll be at this a little bit.
I would like to explore the marketing dollars for the neighborhood associations and the amount of 400 to the Keizer Times. I think that that's a local publication to our community, and so I'd like to see if we can find $400 somewhere to pay for that advertising, or to give them that advertising budget to be used with the Keizer Times. That's what I saw in the documentation that was provided to us. I don't think that we need to provide the marketing dollars for a directory. Again, we still haven't seen a directory yet. And it was already paid for. So providing marketing dollars for that in this fiscal year, I'm not sure I understand. I don't think that's an appropriate a budget item. And then they're obviously not doing the $1,000 for the banners, but I would be supportive of doing the $400 in the Keizer Times.
So you want to add that in?
Yes, I would like to add that in, but I don't know.
So, Mr. Wood, Mr. Lindsay, do we need to put the motion on the table and start amending, or should we do these individual motions to amend the budget for each of these items?
I'll acquiesce to Mr. Wood, but I mean, there just has to be a way in which you guys all know what you're agreeing on.
Okay. So, yeah, I want to make sure that we take each of these changes to the budget as an action.
Let's do it one at a
So I'll do it one at a time.
Yeah.
And then we'll do the final motion to adopt the entire budget, however it has been amended. So would you like to put that motion on the table for us to consider for the $400?
Yes. I move that the Keizer City Council fund the neighborhood association's joint marketing request at the amount of $400 for advertising in the Keizer Times.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Keizer City Council add into the budget the $400 for marketing for the Keizer Times for all the neighbor associations jointly. Is that basically what she said? Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed signify by saying no.
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 Motion passes 5-2. The noes are Kohler and Duran. Okay, that's the first change. Do you have another one?
Do you need a motion for the budget note for Keizer United?
I do not, just if you're changing a number.
Okay.
Okay,
I think that was the only number then that I had.
for the moment, all right.
For the moment.
For the moment. Okay, Counselor Christopher?
I have no changes, Mayor.
Okay. Counselor Duran?
I have none either.
Okay.
Also.
I have, one, and that would be to reinstate our membership in SEDCOR. So to that point, we heard from SEDCOR tonight, and economic development is a top priority for the growth and diversification of jobs in the economy in Keizer, and it is money extremely well spent in this regional space. So I would like to move that the City Council continue our membership in SEDCOR in the amount of $5,000 per year. Looking for a second. Okay. Motion dies for lack of second. All right. Anything else? You had something you wanted to add? No. Okay. All right, so those are the only changes to the budget, and then we'll be leaving the neighbor associations, and they are at $1,000 each, correct? Okay,
We're just doing the 400 joint
okay.
marketing.
Okey doke. All right, why don't you put the main motion on the table, Council President Starr?
I move that the Keizer City Council adopt Resolution R2026, adopting the fiscal year 2026-27 budget as amended, making appropriations and imposing and categorizing taxes.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Keizer City Council adopt Resolution R2026, adopting the fiscal year 2026-27 budget as amended, making appropriations and imposing and categorizing taxes. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, signify by saying no. Motion passes unanimously. We have a budget. Okay, we are going to go on to administrative action, ordinance related to elections, creating Keizer Code, Chapter 15. I believe this goes to Mr. Lindsay, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. So before you, for your consideration, it will be to change Keizer's code to actually create a chapter that has relating to elections, because we don't have any of our own ordinances that pertain to elections. And we have in Keizer a home rule charter, and in our particular charter that that our electors went ahead and voted on, there's a statement in section 7.1 that says that city elections must conform to state law except as this charter or ordinances provide otherwise. That leaves the ability, the populace has said, you guys can add some election choices in your ordinances if you want. What you have before you is currently under state law, the only type of referral or referendum that you could do to the populace would be if it was a legislative enactment, because that's the only type of referral or referendum that is under state law. So you can't really just ask an advisory question. What you have before you, if you so choose, can allow you to just ask advisory questions, non-binding advisory questions of electors through the election process. So, and it really is, if you notice, it's super plain language, and it actually follows almost exactly the referendum process, but only for a non-binding advisory vote. So it's not tricky in any way. You have to go through and do, your question and your ballot title and your statement, explanatory statement, all of that. And it follows the same timelines and gives the same appeal rights that state law gives. So the only difference is it's just a non-binding advisory option.
Okay. So questions on the staff report? Council President Starr.
So I like examples and analogies. So, for example, if I wanted to, an advisory vote, or I wanted the community to weigh in on officially adopting the color of Keizer as cerulean blue.
Okay.
Right? I could put that out there as an advisory vote and ask the question, would you prefer that we adopt cerulean blue as the official color of Keizer, or impact blue?
Yeah. And what you're going to find is it would follow the same sort of 20-word maximum, question. And the question always has to be, the negative is the negative and the positive is the positive. So,
And that's what
should
we have
Keizer
that's what we have you for,
yeah,
to help us, yeah.
But so, it really will look the same, but yes.
That's an
ostensibly, you could
example of
ask
what
that.
we could ask for an advisory vote.
You could ask for that.
I'm using it, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
hyperbole and analogy and all of that, but that's.
Yes. So I've seen them done. I mentioned, I think before, the fluoride question has been put out there by certain advisory votes in cities. Certain changes to industrial parks that I'm aware of have been put out there. So, or you could even do exactly. Instead of, the way you guys did the library before is you had to actually pass the ordinance and then refer it. You could just ask the question without passing the ordinance next time. So, there could be other creative uses. I guess if a leash out law was, a leash law or something was,
law.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because some cities do a verbal leash law and some people do a actual leash. So stuff like that. It just really is it's another tool in the toolbox.
And I have a follow-up.
Follow-up.
And we have to bring each issue that we would want to send to an advisory vote, we have to bring it forward, right? And hash it out here. So meaning, like, if we wanted to do the advisory vote on the leash law, like, it literally, the verbiage has to come before council, like everything, and we're signing off on how every single.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, it's just every bit as official as putting anything on the ballot. Yeah.
Thank you.
So the word non-binding, so no matter what the outcome of the election is, this Keizer City Council, under this one, would not be required to follow the will of the voters. Is that correct?
That is true. And it's sort of like when any of your advisory committees vote on something, and then it comes to you, it doesn't bind you. You know what I mean? It certainly has, yeah, exactly. It has a lot of weight, and, but, I mean, I guess, I mean, absolutely it doesn't bind you, but I'm trying to think of like, to spin it in a positive way, right? Say you went out to the voters, and these processes would take, in order to get on any ballot, right? It takes several months and goes through all those processes. And then maybe there's some sort of, depending on what your question is, maybe there's a big change. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll use, I know it's a sticky one, I keep going back to it, but like fluoride as an example. You know, in the time that you went out for the vote, and before you got the stuff back, there's new research that says, actually, this is really good for you, or actually it's really bad for you. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things that, in effect, just because it's non-binding, you could do it, or if you had really righteous reasons not to, you could choose not to do it. Does that make sense?
Not really,
Oh, okay.
but thanks for trying.
Oh, okay.
All right. Any other questions on the staff report? Okay. Anybody want to put a motion on the table?
I move to adopt ordinance 2026 relating to elections and creating Keizer Code Chapter 15.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Keizer City Council adopt ordinance 2026 relating to elections, creating Keizer Code Chapter 15. Councilor Parsons.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I guess I have a problem with taking this as an advisory vote out to them, and then it comes back and we don't honor what they voted, so. Why would we do that, though? Why would we do that? If the voters all say no, then I will say no, because that's not right. It's not right for them to say, I want it like this, and then we turn around and say, too bad, so sad.
It's your option.
I don't know. I don't like it, so.
Yeah. Councilor Kohler, did you have anything? Council President?
Yes. Sorry. Again, just because we're putting this tool in our toolbox doesn't mean we're agreeing to send everything to a vote. Or anything.
Madam Mayor, may I also say something?
I just want to.
Mr. Lindsay?
The other thing about this is if, say, let's use the leash law, and you ask for an advisory vote, and they say, no, we don't want leashes, and you go, I'm going to do leashes anyway, there's still the referendum ability of the population to then refer your legislation out and challenge you that way. Does that make sense? So I mean, if you passed an advisory vote and then you didn't follow it and you did an action, that legislative action can always go and be referred back to the vote.
But isn't that already the case?
Yeah.
So that, that will not change anything. This will not add anything in the toolbox for the voters. They already have the right to refer. We already have the right to refer. If we have passed a resolution, which we have done, or an ordinance, we can put it on the ballot now. But if we put it on the ballot, it is binding. So, but the voters already have the power. Is that correct?
As long as it's a legislative act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So going back to the leash law, if people wanted to put that on the ballot, they can do that.
Yes.
So that exists without this.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. Anything further?
Of course.
All right.
Where, in here, and maybe I missed it, do we have any other listing of cities and Oregon that are doing this.
I looked, so I know I found Portland, I found a Wilsonville, I found a Hillsborough, I found a Gresham, but I typed in several different prompts to try to find out which ones, and it kept leading me back to just generalized, more like, government, like I kept getting LOC articles, things like that. But I know for a fact that those have it, because I've seen those, but I was having a harder time locating them.
So Portland, Wilsonville,
Hillsborough and Gresham, I believe.
Did,
I thought I heard somebody say that.
I did, but anyway, so those 4 cities actually have something similar. So did you have a follow-up on that?
How many times have they been used?
I am not aware. I mean, I've seen advisory votes out there, but I can't say how often. I don't think they're probably rare, I guess.
I'm sorry,
They're probably rare. Because I mean, you usually have to wait, unless you want to spend money for it, you usually wait for the general election, and it usually has to be a burning question that you're almost letting the population decide something for you, if that makes sense.
Anything further? I have a comment and then I can circle back to you.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay. So I'm going to go back to my earlier comment, and that is by being non-binding, that means that the city council would be putting something on the ballot and we would not be required to follow the will of the voters. I've got a real problem with that. If I'm going to spend any time putting something on the ballot for the voters, it is because I believe the voters have the authority to make that decision, and that is a decision that needs to be made by them. So the voters already have the authority to refer measures. It already exists. All they have to do is go talk to Ms. Bissett, pull the packet, get the signatures, and put it on the ballot. We have already, in the past, we have put things on the ballot because we needed to take it to the voters, and we did that with the library. We passed the ordinance. Voters, do you agree with that, yes or no? And we followed the will of the voters. I have a really hard time, and it doesn't feel honest to me, to ask for an advisory vote, and then not commit to following the outcome of that election. I feel it's my job to be extremely clear about issues that we put on a ballot and about the outcomes being yes or no. I cannot, in good conscience, support something this vague. We have already 70% of people sitting out elections, and I really feel this is going to add to the lack of confidence that people have in the election system. So I cannot support this moving forward. Council President Starr, did you have anything? And Councilor Cross, did you want to weigh in?
I don't know what I'm hitting, but no, thank you.
Okay, just asking. Council President Starr.
No, I'm good, thank you.
Okay. Councilor Kohler.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Would it be smart to put anything on here in addition that it needs to be part of a general election and not a special election?
If you wanted to bind yourself to that, you could easily do that, yes. So that you never used it in a non-general?
Well,
I mean, you can always make that decision, but when you're making the rule, you can bind yourself to, and then somebody, future councils would have to change it in order to do it otherwise.
Councilor Kohler.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. What would be the consequences of making it binding rather than non-binding?
So binding would mean, okay, we don't do that under our current law unless it's the general, or if there's a majority of councilors that are willing to change that law to allow for a special election advisory vote, then you could change it first and then go out during a special election.
I think that was that your question?
Kind of. He's a good dancer.
Or do you mean just financially speaking?
No.
Oh, okay.
We're good.
Okay. Want to make sure you got, okay. I think I understood. Maybe. Did you have anything more before I call for the vote?
Yes.
Go ahead.
What is the requirement for us to vote on this now, tonight? Because I would be curious to know, of those 4 cities, I would like to know what they've done an advisory vote for. Pardon? And if they followed up with it. I understand it kind of, you know, the theory behind it, but I want to know from the other cities in Oregon that have it, when have you used it? What has it been for? And what, and did you follow, like Counselor Duran said, did you follow it? And I mean, so for me, I think there's good information in this staff report. I would just like a little bit more about those 4 cities and their advisory vote. So,
Okay. Well, and I can even look for more. I guess what I'll say about just the timing of this, it's only present in order to, if there is not a unanimous vote, then there is a second reading and then a 30-day waiting period on the passage of an ordinance. And so the timing of this is just designed to, you know, create or allow for this tool to be available for you if you were so inclined for this.
and I am interested in the tool, but I don't, you know, my questions about the 4 cities, because I didn't see that in here. I want to know what they've used it for, because it's interesting to me that we only have 4 cities in the state of Oregon that have something like this.
I'm not sure about that. I can't say with certainty because I was looking up ones and found those, and then I was asking, I think, the wrong prompts.
So that's even more
Yeah.
concerning to me in terms of wanting more information.
Okay.
Like making sure I know what the cities are in Salem that have them, or in Salem, in Oregon that have them, have the advisory vote ordinance. Have they used it? What for? And then what was the follow-up on that? Like, that's just, I think that's important information.
Okay.
I would agree. Counselor Christopher?
So if we pass this tonight, it's not going to be unanimous. The mayor already said she's not voting for it. So if we pass this tonight, it's going to have to come back for a second vote. And would that be at our next city council meeting?
It would be.
And would that 2 weeks give you long enough to answer all of Counselor Starr's questions?
Yeah, I believe so.
So you could do more extensive research. I think we'd all be interested in that. I don't know that it's going to change any minds, but it could change minds. Which would be okay, because when we do the second vote, then votes can change. Is that correct?
Yes.
So if 6 of us vote for it tonight, and in 2 weeks you provide research information, and 3 of us change our mind, that's okay. Okay, thank you.
Counselor Cross, did you have anything to add?
No, great conversation.
All right, thanks.
Counselor Duran, and then I.
Counselor Duran?
I remembered this from a couple years ago, that Hillsborough used this for their fluoridation. And they did not, after the advisory vote, they opted to not keep the fluoridation in their water. So that was something that happened in 2024.
Oh, interesting. Council President Starr?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Counselor Christopher, with all due respect, I'm not comfortable voting on something until I have all the information. So even though you're asserting that there may not be a unanimous vote and it would come back for a second vote, I'm not voting until I have all the information that I would like to consider making another, for the vote. So for me personally, if I don't have all the information that I would like in order to make an informed vote, I'm not going to vote for something that I don't feel confident that I have what I need to make that vote.
Okay.
Okay, Counselor Kohler.
So if we were to vote tonight to do that, even if it was a 4-3 vote, we would have to vote on it again in 2 weeks. And at that point, if the information that was gathered came to us and we looked at it and said, that doesn't make any sense, we would, in a sense, just be voting on the same thing again.
That second vote, if it's not unanimous, it's just required, and what it is it is a way in which it gives you two bites at the apple. You might change your mind, or there might be different information. So if it's not unanimous, then that it's built into the system that it's supposed to be a truly second look, and you can vote any way you want, either way.
Follow up.
Follow up.
So what's the difference of us voting on it tonight or not voting on it tonight and voting on it in 2 weeks? So in 2 weeks, if there was still a 6-1 vote or a 4-3 vote, then we'd still have to wait another 2 weeks. Is that really going to be a significant time frame difference for us for the November elections?
I put the timing in here, and the adopt a resolution. Okay, so if you went into the July 6th, the problem with going to July 6th, so if you had your first reading on June 15, your second reading would be on July 6th. It doesn't become law until August 5th. And the timeline we figured on was you have to adopt a resolution 2 days before that in order to, which includes the ballot title and caption and question and summary, in order to then have it go through the process in a timely fashion and be publicized and then have that appeal period and all that. So this is basically your first reading, unless you didn't vote on it tonight and then it was a unanimous next time, then it would go into law and you could use it.
Follow up. Reader's Digest version, if we don't vote on it tonight and it's not unanimous next council meeting, then we wouldn't be able to use it even if it passed.
If you don't vote on it tonight and it's not unanimous next time, correct.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Council President Starr?
I just, I don't have enough information to do a yes vote.
Okay.
I want more details, more comparisons. We do a lot of things and we make a lot of decisions in this city using comparators. And comparing, even in our budget and in our documents, in our meeting packet tonight, we had a listing of where Keizer was and our stormwater and our water rates and things like that, a listing of comparators. I think a decision like this deserves us having the information before we vote on something of comparators. It's mind-boggling to me why we wouldn't have comparators for something as important and impactful as this, but we will look at where we are on water rates. I mean, this is a big decision for this council to make, and I want to know what the rest of our state is doing before I'm willing to vote yay or nay on anything. I mean, I'm just like, I think this is a good start of information. I don't think it's all the information that will give us what we need to make an informed decision.
Agree. Councilor Kohler?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. But if we don't vote on it tonight, then we wouldn't be able to use it in the election in November if it wasn't unanimous in 2 weeks. So by voting tonight, then it gives us an opportunity to get all the information and actually be able to use it if we wanted to in November. Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Bissett, would you do a roll call, please?
Counselor Parsons?
No?
Counselor Kohler?
Yes.
Mayor Clark?
No.
Council President Starr?
No.
Counselor Christopher?
Yes.
Counselor Duran?
No.
Counselor Cross?
Yes.
Motion fails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on. Okay. Let's go to other business. This time is provided to allow the mayor, city council members, or staff an opportunity to bring new or old matters before the council that are not on tonight's agenda. Mr. Brown, does staff have anything to bring forward tonight?
Madam Mayor and Council, we do not.
Thank you. Council members, do you have anything to bring forward tonight? All right. Let's go to staff updates. Mr. Brown?
I have none tonight.
Mr. Wood?
Madam Mayor, City Council, just wanted to pass along that we are in transition with our online bill pay system. We mentioned that a while back that we're doing some training, and hopefully this will provide for the roundup, not the kill the lawn kind of roundup, but the roundup to parks donations. So it's in process, but I just want the residents to know. You might have received some emails, some text messages, some notifications like that. The new company that we're moving to is called Express Bill Pay, and we're moving away from Civic Pay. So feel free to contact my office if you have any questions. Thank you.
Yeah, I've got questions. Council President Starr.
Oops, I forgot. And how long do we have to update that?
We have at least a month to update.
Oh, thank you. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so follow up on that is the outreach. I remember I saw it somewhere, but I absolutely forgot about that. So are you doing multiple, hey, you need to update?
Yes, we are.
Thank you. I am putting a sticky note right on
my forehead.
We've been slow rolling it just to make sure everything works as it should before we do a mass mailing. But yep, everything is in process to start doing some marketing and get folks transitioned.
So in the email, and I think I remember the email now, you click on that, or do you go to our website and just re-sign up?
Correct. You can go either way.
Okay. So, and a lot of us prefer to go to the website because that way we're sure we are going to the correct place.
Correct.
Okay. And are you doing social media outreach on this?
We will be, yes.
Thank you. Okay. Okay. And Ms. Bissett.
Yes, Mayor. So this week, it's very exciting. It's the first week to file for a general election if you're interested in the mayor position, positions 4, 5, or 6. And so, again, June 3rd is the first day to file. So if you're interested, there's lots of information on our website about it. And you can also reach out to me directly if you'd like to set up a time to come in and meet, talk about the election, and get a candidate packet.
Thank you. Thanks for getting everything ready for that. Appreciate it. Lieutenant Hine. Okay. Ms. Blaylock.
Aside from the opening ceremony today at the Claggett Wetland, which went swimmingly, I think. Thank you all for being there and hosting that. I have no other updates.
I'd like to circle back on, there was an email that for a request for no parking around the fire hydrant on Hidden Creek. And Mr. Brown, I think you responded, or Ms. Blaylock, you responded that that's going to get painted.
Actually, that has been.
Oh, done.
It's done.
Check that box.
I did circle back with Keizer Fire District and PD, and so yeah, we had a conversation, and because it is persistent, we went ahead and made the decision to do that. So it's painted in front of it already.
Wow. Okay. Fantastic. Thank you. Mr. Witham.
Nothing this evening, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Lindsay.
Yeah, no, I don't have anything to report.
I want to bring one thing back around, and I know that we have talked about it. You all have heard about the extreme drawdown for Detroit Lake and what that can do for us. We're, of course, the dislodging of contaminated sediment and these environmental impact statement has not been completed, and Marion County has launched a lawsuit And Mr. Lindsay, we're going to look into what they were requesting in terms of support from member cities, and we have taken a position on this in the past.
Yeah.
So this would not be new territory. Can you get back to us on that?
Sure. Well, I could tell you, in talking with their general counsel, Steve Elzinga, he was asking, absent joining a lawsuit where we're not alleged to have been harmed yet, we can also do lesser forms of participation. So we could pass a resolution in support that then he could potentially quote in his court motions and things like that. So I will follow up with him on what that would look like and then bring it back to you, how about the next meeting, so that you would know what a resolution of support would kind of sound and look like, if that is okay with everyone.
Is that agreeable to council? We have taken a position on this in the past, but I just want to check in with you that we're good moving forward with supporting this effort to stop the extreme drawdown. Okay, thank you. Let's go to council reports. Councilor Duran.
I have nothing this evening.
Councilor Christopher.
I don't have a report, but I have two questions. Blast camp at the end of the
Oh,
month
yes.
starts on the 29th. Am I right? To sign up for that, you have to print the form out and then carry it in? Anyone?
Council Christopher and Council, I sent that question to the chief today, who is actually traveling, but, so I haven't got back.
Okay.
Heard back from him.
Do you know?
I do not know 100%, but I can get with our executive assistant, Alejandra Gallegos, and get the city manager that answer.
Great. The reason I know this is I tried to sign my granddaughter up and I thought everything would be online, Mrs. Bissett. And so we would just be able to sign because it's limited enrollment.
Only 60 so far signed up though, so you're good.
Is that a liability
How would they
issue?
done it though? That's my question. It
She didn't tell me.
it didn't appear to be online.
Okay, Mr. Woods got something for us.
I am looking at the online submission form, so there is a way. It looks like
so
it's
there's
kind of-
two.
Yes, it looks like it's kind of hidden next to the actual form, so
Sorry
it's
about
there.
that.
Nope, good question.
Good
Okay.
question, though.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Then I thought, is it below the printed one? It must be. So the printed one comes up first. I didn't continue on because I thought that was it. Okay, thank you for that. The next question is, I would still like to have the information for future councils to make this decision so we don't go through this effort. I feel like it is, over and over again, we talk about this. And I'm interested to hear the answers to Counselor Starr's questions. I don't think you did an exemplary job of research. And I would like to know, and maybe you get that from LOC, or maybe you get it from your fellow comrades that are city attorneys. I'd like to know how many cities, and I'd like to know how often, all her questions, I'd like to know them.
Mr. Lindsay?
I guess how soon would you guys like that?
Oh, I don't care. It's
Okay.
a dead,
Okay.
we will not be able to participate, our citizens will not be able to participate in 2026. So take your time. Unless they get a referendum together. That's so easy to accomplish. Just talk to Ed Deal.
Okay.
Council President Starr.
This question is for Mr. Witham. Am I going to be able to get sweet potato fries in Keizer from Burgerville?
I don't know. I do not know. I do not know that that's not the case. There's permits. I've not heard anything lately. So yeah, it doesn't feel like Walla Walla sweet onion rings are happening this summer for Shane, because I've not issued and approved a C of O and they're not open. So yeah, I really don't have an update. Like I don't know.
So you don't get your onion rings, I don't get my sweet potato fries.
I mean,
What is this world?
I mean, I think we'll get them eventually. I just don't know when. So, sorry.
No, that's okay. Thank you.
I know. Inquiring minds do want to know.
Yeah.
I know. I get the questions all the time. I'm like, yeah. But you know, we're still here and we still have Chicken Shack and good places to eat.
It's after 9.
It is after 9. Let's wrap up, because we do need to do some agenda input. We just need to announce the changes that we, on the, work sessions. Real quick, Councilor Kohler.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. You didn't get sweet potato fries, but you could have had a great dinner at Keizer Community Dinner. Wednesday night, we served over 300 meals, which is the most meals we've served since COVID.
Fantastic.
Good job.
And thank you, Thrivent, for the meal. It was really good.
Well done.
Nothing to.
All right, just a couple of things. Thank you, everybody, for Soggy Day at the Park. Also, there's a lot of work being done on housing and land use policy, so watch for some of that to come to us in August when we do our work session on legislative updates. I was able to attend, along with Councilor Cross, the Homeless Alliance Budget Committee, so that's moving forward for adoption. And coming up soon will be chamber greeters and the usual stuff for our business community. Also, based on the decision tonight, I will be submitting my resignation to the Sedcor board. So just want to let you know about that. All right, Councilor Cross. Did you have anything tonight?
I do not, thank you.
All right. Just want to let you know, there's a recommendation for changing, the work sessions, June 8th. But to change that to a meeting with the Keizer Community Fields, Mr. Brown indicated that they are good to go ahead and meet on the 8th. So we're going to change the topic for, June 8th to that. June 29th will be the event. 29th.
I thought you changed it to the 22nd.
No,
It says 29th here.
29th.
The 5th, even though there's 5 Mondays.
It's the 5th Monday, yes.
Oh, okay.
That would be the event center pricing and policy update. That's being moved to the 27th of July.
Oh, okay.
Because we think that there's going to be enough to talk about, to not put the things together. So we're going to have the ESU modeling on 13th, July 27th for Multimodal Safety Committee to address, a number of issues, not to include the, that will include the neighborhood traffic management plan and, some other issues that we'd like them to address coming up. Yes, ma'am.
Is there a reason why we're not meeting on, why we picked the 5th Monday and not the 4th Monday?
What's that?
Huh? Neither will I.
Well, yeah.
Neither one of us will be here on the 29th.
I'll be here on the 29th.
Oh, 22nd. Oh, well, then it's
Yeah,
a
and I wouldn't
wash.
either. So,
Okay, that's fine.
okay. Does the 29th work for the majority?
Yes.
Okay, I'm getting enough head nods, so I think we're good. Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, there'll be a recording. And then, we're looking at August 10th would be, LLC policy and legislative. And then if we want to schedule the fluoride, work session, August 24th, or we can push it to, the second one in November. But that's the only openings we have between now and the end of the year. So any objection to scheduling it for August 24th? Yes, ma'am?
No, I just had said something about, if she was out of town zooming in on the 29th.
Okay, we can do that. We have the technology.
And do we need to put that on the agenda?
I don't know yet.
Oh.
Okay, so just let, Ms. Bissett know, and then we can get on the agenda. Okay. So that's the, agenda input for scheduling our work sessions between now and the end of the year. The others remain as we announced last time. And, we do have one, if we absolutely have to do one more, we can squeeze in another 5th Monday, but it's near the holidays, please don't. All right. With that, I'm going to read my script. Okay. Here we go. The city council will now meet in executive session pursuant to ORS 192.660, parens 2, parens I, to review and evaluate the employment-related performance of the chief executive officer of any public body, a public officer, employee, or staff member who does not request an open hearing. Representatives of the news media shall be allowed to attend. Representatives of the news media are specifically directed not to report on any of the deliberations during the executive session, except to state the general subject of the session as previously announced. No decision will be made in this executive session. The city council, along with the city manager, may attend. The meeting will take place in the Public Works Planning Conference Room. At the end of the executive session, we will not be taking action and will adjourn the meeting. We are moving to executive session. Thank you all very much.